Greetings everyone, please give a moment to make sure everything's set on up. Looks like Rumble is going. YouTube is going. Twitter is going. And Twitch is going. Looks like everything's going good. Time to activate the chat windows. Okay, that should be all good to go. Oh, though then again, when it comes to this, I have to hit this button there for YouTube. There we go. And give me another moment to check my other computer. And looks like the streams on my other computer are working perfectly fine. So let's go ahead and find a replay. Starting from the top of the leaderboards. Got replays. Avoid the customs. 11 minutes, far too short. 45 minutes, that should be good. Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Age of Empires 4 replay. Spawn on top left side as the Blue Ottomans, we got David Kim. Spawn on bottom right side as the Red Zuzi's Legacy, we got L. Louis MT. This is also a recent patch. It looks like just a basic bug fixing patch, or at least when it comes to balance stuff. And this is the first time I casted Ottomans with new Spectator Replay update. Let's as well as Chinese. Okay, Highland Tang Dynasty does not reveal what's going on. It does show me how many Imperial Collectors and Vizier. Oh, perfect! I can now click on this and reveal the what's it called? The Vizier points. Perfect! I love how they're adding more and more functionality, and I've been loving it. It makes my job so much easier. Either way, when it comes to map generation, do notice that Red Blue has both his deer deposits right next to each other. Boar is also nearby, however, he is Ottoman, and eating pork is haram. And for this, the Zuzi's Legacy, gotta keep an eye where his meditation gardens may be. We've got twin minaret meadows being deployed in the field. Meditation gardens could be deployed out here. I don't know how many berry bushes. Probably won't skim them all. Okay, deployed just right there. Which I believe it does not affect the sheep. He may get a couple wood chips. I wonder. Does it have to be fully complete to recognize that the tree's there? Or can it be chopped down? Let's figure out, let's see how this interaction works. Does it work for stumps? Does it work on deployment? Or does it work upon completion? I have no idea. This should be the only tree in the radius. I don't think there's other trees in radius. If it is, it'll probably get one wood chip per minute. Let's see, I need to... Let's see, switch to regular UI. Probably switch over to him, see. Looks like it's not being affected. Looks like it's upon completion. Does not get affected by the... or the stump, and looks like it's upon completion, because on starting, this thing wasn't being chopped down just yet. Do now have professional scouts being researched by Zuzi's Legacy. Red has a scout here. Blue does not have a well, professional scouts just yet. Still building twin Meraries. Of course, a scout pursuing the scout here. And now I've got the villagers, 8 villagers pushing forward, suggesting he's going to build a town center on the delicious deer. Maybe right around here. Oh, no. They're just, yep. I, second guess myself for good reasons. Scout almost down, dead 1 health. His health regen did save him. And Blue's herding some more of these deer. Does grab a single deer there. Horseman pushing forward. Horseman does fall back, and Blue will be just clicking up the delicious venison now. Red will only steal 1 a piece of venison. And looks like Red does drop the deer. Blue is pursuing. Blue is going for survival techniques, not professional scouts. He does not need professional scouts, since both his deer deposits spawn pretty close by each other, and has built a town center there as well. We got a healthy number of scouts pulled up by Red, and I love how the fact that the initial scout is still a Chinese scout, not a Zuzi's Legacy scout. So that bug is still in there. I just realized something as well. I actually have my Age of Mythology setup turned on. There we go. Turn on Age of Empires 4. It may not make big changes, but it is actually pretty much where the chat window's sitting. If you want to chat and show where the chat window's at, that would be, you're more than welcome to. Oh, maybe 3 people watching the stream. We do now have a Sipahi deployed in the field. Sipahi, I think, is still the heaviest of all the light cavalry. So heavy the fact that it doesn't get its full movement speed for light cavalry. Scout shanking the scout, but of course got a scout here, but looks like the scout will just run away from the scout, and the scout will not be supported and engage in the scout. Though with the mounted here, they all can gang up on him and shank him. Sipahi engaging this scout. First Vizier point wasn't the Imam, so got some 2 free Imams. They also give a bit of a health regen aura. We do now have this barracks going on up. Only the meditation guards deployed in the field. The Zhengen Tower is not common to see built before they start building a whole lot of production structures, but you don't have to go for it immediately. I still forget what all the dynasties are for Zuzi's Legacy. I can never remember those. More supply on the build queue for the Ottoman. Zuzi's Legacy does have a good number of spearmans. Nice little stick right there, caused some pathing issues. However, Angry Men 26 are still very effective versus men and horses. Got a spear brace on both of them, very nice. Got a lot of good damage there. Rude engagement by the spearman. While he only got like 1, maybe 2 stabs, that was still very good. Local doggo getting some bites there. Exotic doggo does take a stab there. Scout is down, and we've got some spearmen straight forward. Getting some good hits there on these scouts, or not scouts, Sipahi. Very different things. Oh, we got an early battery ram now being pulled by the Zuzi's Legacy. He's going to try to close the game sooner rather than later. He has a good number of spearmen. His opponent does not have any proper counter to spearmen. He can easily take out the battery ram if it gets unsupported. The Imams providing some excellent health regen here. These Imams just may need to be tasked backwards. One spy goes down. It's Spear Brace. We've got early Palace Guard on the field. He needs archers. He doesn't even have any military campuses just yet. Or military schools, what they're called again? Military schools. Oh yeah, now I don't think I ever seen the renamed of the cavalry archers or horse archers. They actually got a proper Ottoman name now. I don't think I ever cast them with the proper Ottoman name. We got Mount Lu Academy being employed by the Zuzi's Legacy players, who's aging up. Does not get a volley onto that battery ram. Counts are firing away. Oh, he looks like has gone for the crossbow defensive emplacement. Yeah, the extensive fortifications reduce the cost of building defensive buildings by 20%, and garrison units will be armed with crossbows, getting +1 damage versus heavy, or +1 damage in total, and +2 damage versus heavy. Make it a bit more effective in defense. Very nice. The Head Imperial Armory now being deployed in the field, giving out some free siege weapons. I think it seems like the Spring Golds are still the best option from the Hidden Imperial Armory. So they have half the production time as Mangonels, and since they got a pretty good buff versus melee infantry, such as this current composition, they should be pretty good item to be put in the field. Right now, Blue does have a decent villager advantage, nearly by 50%. Villagers trying to repair up the town center. Barons have not connected just yet. Horseman there taking a bit of fire. He does have a single archer now in the field. Got a lot of work ahead of him. There's Age Up. Will still be a bit of time before he gets any free Spring Golds, which he desperately does need. Running to the Mangonel production, I really think he should switch the Spring Gold production. And probably get a Blacksmith nearby so it gets faster production speed. Stable's now on fire. Looks like the Spearman and Palace Guard does find a villager. Red Silver kills 8 villagers opponents. Got a Janissary deployed in the field. They are mainly being built Janissaries. Does get overwhelmed by Spearman and Palace Guard. And the best way to deal with these early Janissaries is... Wait, no, Zeus's Legacy can't deploy archers. So Janissaries is going to be particularly effective against Zuzi's Legacy, since he can't get out the counter unit, which is regular archers to light gunpowder units. So I engage some spearmen into the Palace Guard there. Man-Arms overall great option at this point in time. Castle Age Man-Arms will be better than Feudal Age Palace Guard. Another Janissary gets stabbed to death. They'll try and torch down the battery ram now. Imam's getting some good healing over there. Since he also has 2 Imams to field, he can quickly grab some relics. Red has picked up a relic. Sorry about that little clicking sound, that's just my drink. Sort of re-expanding. Town center almost down. Town center being abandoned. He does still have a superior number of villagers, but he's going to get more than lost here. Blue's not counterattacking. Still has a Mangonel in the build queue. Almost another Vizier point, which he could get out Advanced Academies, Janissary Company, or Pax Ultima, barring the other items. He only has up to 5 Vizier points without the Istanbul Imperial Palace, or Academy, whatever it's called. Some villagers are getting picked off there. A couple more went down there. 57 versus 51. Does get a Mangonel put in the field. Spotty down south with a couple meter. The house will burn to death. He does need that popular space. Spotty pushing over here. Does find some red villagers. Very good pick. He has killed maybe 6 villagers there. A decent number of villagers at least. He has so far killed 6 villagers in total. Got these 2 horsemen. Or no, these are 2 scouts. Spotty should be able to defeat 2 scouts no problem. Got some more Janissaries in the build queue for the Ottoman player. Zeus's Legacy is just going for more Spearmen, more Palace Guard. And do now spring all production in Mahid Imperial Armory. Should get a 1 out every 60 seconds. Great spree embrace there onto Spotty. Going to take out a good number of them. Scout is down, not big surprise. We are seeing more archers, more man-at-arms, of course more Janissaries. We do now have the single whip perform. Gonna whip those Imperial officials into shape. Villagers taking some damage there, a decent amount of damage on those villagers in total. And Red has claimed 4 relics and picked up a 5th one, so Red may get every single relic. So you may want to get out Yuan Dynasty sooner rather than later just to get out those pagodas. One monastery here. Villagers migrating over here, trying to claim Boar. Red now pushed along the flank. And Blue has a number of villagers up here just claim the berries. He is Ottoman, and while he's Islamic, he does not get the advanced berries. Pumbaa getting stabbed to death here now. Will go down before any villagers go down. And there is enough surface area around Boar. Walls have gone down. Villagers have deployed out a mining camp there, trying to claim a bit of stone. We have a bit of a small and large gold deposit for the future, as well as noticeable gold deposit over here for the Autumn player. Still a large gold deposit over here as well for Red. Number of Palace Guard and Spearmen pushed along the flank. Oh, and there is a Nesta B. Palace Guard getting picked off by the crossbowmen. Spearmen and Palace Guard now advancing, trying to get these wall segments down again. wheelbarrow now being researched by Blue. A scout here does see a bit of fire. Spotty needs to keep his distance. Does get a free shot there. Spotty push way forward over here. They do need a medic. Red's falling back, taking a bit of damage there from these various units. Scout does go down. And it looks like some of these siege weapons are getting overran by these spearmen. Spotty engaging. This Springald may go down. Does not. Nor does Mangonel. Needs a little bit of repairs. Janissaries can repair them up as well. Blue has set fire to the gate, and looks the spot here will be cleaned on up. They were pretty wounded. And Red will take out some of these units here. A couple doggos to main those sticks. Go the stick, they'll be happy. 3 wolves over in this region. That's quite a decent number of wolves. Not like they really matter all too much. They have right now. The units all have 2 armor, so these wolves only do 1 damage. Yes, I actually going for Pax Automata, which is a temporary 4 minutes, give 50% faster village production speed. His one does have 2 town centers, so his production queue is going to be, let's see, okay, it's already subsided. I missed the 4 minutes of it. So, Red will eventually catch up and surpass Blue when it comes to village production. Have you seen the military cadets? Yes, we have. They're all going for crossbowmen production. Got a bit of stone walls going on up. Some of these villages are being picked on off. They all are down, but the walls are somewhat up. They can be torched. And we'll probably destroy a decent number of these segments. Nope, just create a small... Oh, no, this segment is gone. While the gate is still standing. Try and go for more walls there. Got a very good nest of these. However, they got cut up onto the wall segments there. I got more wall segments now being built over here. He must not have had a vision over here when he queued up those wall segments, because they just... Or no? Maybe it was lack of stone? Hard to say, it's not fully built. I do not know what to make of it. We do also have now +1 military campus also queued on up, so he only has 1 vizier point. Trade bags and siege crews are all both pretty nice, but also as well as advanced academies. Obviously, one of these 3 should be what he should go for. Zeus's Legacy start getting pretty close to age on up. Autumn player has enough gold to age up on up, nowhere near enough food. Starting to go for some farms now. Spearman taking out some of these units. Red has, of course, claimed every single relic, so he's going to get a lot of extra gold generation. It looks like he did actually get one wood chip from the Meditation Garden. That could have been from this tree here. Temple of the Sun now being deployed on field, which gives some configurable bonuses. I do think he should eye for Yuan Dynasty relatively soon, just to get those pagodas out. Combined with Tithe Barn, he will get a lot of free resources from those relics. Villager here will go down. Spearman now push away forward. Villagers getting hacked apart a little bit. Istanbul Observatory being deployed in the field as well, which will improve his blacksmith production bonus. Try and build more stone walls. That villager does go down. Spearman push way forward. You know, I'm sort of surprised he didn't go for the Zuzi's library to get out the what's it called, Roar the Dragon for the Fire Lancer Spearman. He has been pulling a good number of Spearmen as well as Palace Guard. Oh, howdy. Thank you for the raid of holy crap, that is quite a bit of people. Welcome to the stream. Red right now has a decent number of Spearmen and Palace Guard. Howdy. Spearman moving around. Thank you for the follow. Oh, there's gonna be a lot of those, isn't it? Yeah. Spearman does chase the villager to the outpost there, trying to get a little bit gold there. Nothing too much grab from there. Oh, neither of these are beasties, so I guess that you guys must have been talking about a previous game. My apologies. Palace Guard heading up north. These Palace Guard trying to move over here. The set of Palace Guard getting hit a bit by the Spring Gulds. Trying to move towards just up there. May intercept these villagers here. Shaolin Monster being deployed in the field. Give him access to the Yuan Dynasty. Oh. Thank you for the... okay, that was a subscription. Thank you for the subscription. That's gonna be a lot of stuff. Oh boy, there's gonna be a lot of notifications. Palace Guard to push over there. Does take out the... or prevent the deployment of the military school. Heading towards the... elite Spahi. Now they're sort of scouting each other in a single direction instead of grouping them trying to make their way over there. But with all the pathing, they are having trouble going through the urbanized area. Palace Guard does find some of these villagers, but the spot here engaging with the Janissary. Red's now moving over here. Blue does have a keep here, trying to collect a bit of gold, but he can easily get inside. I'm just sort of casting anything that's of decent length. Can't say if it's old or new. I just look at the game length and start casting them. Though then again, with the recent patch, all the replays are within the last week, so it's not necessarily old. Palace Guard and Spearmen pursuing these villagers. They get a bit of repairs there. The keep will stay up. The villagers may go down. Blue is going at 87 villagers versus Red's 110 villagers. It looks like this keep has been fully repaired. Mining camp needs to be replaced. Going for an outpost over here. And now we do have these set up Janissaries engaging the Palace Guard as well. Palace Guard will be forced back by the Janissaries. The set of Spearmen could find this poly, but there should be enough there to gauge the Spearmen. Blue's now pushing down over here with a good number of Janissaries and crossbowmen. A number of the Palace Guard are falling back. Spearmen push away forward, and we got the poly pursuing them. Over here, just some Palace Guard. And got a decent number of Janissaries over here. Villagers rotating over to, I'm guessing, back to the gold deposit. Blue's now heading towards the center of the map. No damage on these walls. He does have a Mangonel to siege it down, which is not great. Just okay. And it looks like the handful of these villagers are trying to fall back into the keep. Or just trying to build the gold mine. Your official there, supervising the collection of that mill. Wooden wall will go down, but there's more stone walls in the back. So, he's going to run to a brick wall, literally. He does have some population space for some battery rams, so maybe squeezing out a couple right now wouldn't be half bad if he wants to break on through. Talking about battery rams, Red has some battery rams here. Janissaries will have a bit of trouble versus them. But the villagers not so much. Red has 2 villagers there on gold. Red is low on gold and wood. Does have 4 relics. The 5th relic has not been dropped off, I guess. And the keep will just take a little bit of damage there. Imperial official now coming over here to supervise the collection of the gold mine. All 2 of those villagers for that. Let's probably find some outlying units there, and do have a good number of Palace Guards before. They do have Divine Haste active, so they'll overrun us almost as fast as Heavy Cav. And we've got now the keep now under siege, sort of. Always retarget towards the villagers, of course. Handful of villagers on wood being brought back. Some reinforcing Spahi here, and Blue is withdrawing his entire army just to deal with the small amount of Palace Guard. So this will give Red some more breathing room. We'll lose these units, of course, but sometimes a bit of breathing room is all you need. Janissaries could just garrison inside the keep in order to protect himself. And the Palace Guard most got immolated by the boiling oil. Or scalded. Scalded? Either way, villagers now being focused down here. Blue's at 103 versus 125 villagers. And we've got these villagers now trying to collect a bit of stone there. Still got 1,200 remaining there. And we've got the Spahi engaging the Palace Guard. Up north, got the couple Palace Guard here. Managed to find some villagers. Well, we've got the Spahi down south engaging these Palace Guard and a Spearman. Or maybe not. Right now, everybody is everywhere, so one bit of run-bys there, and got the Spahi engaging these villagers. No, oh, yeah, we do have 42 active. Yeah, a good number of red villagers there, down to 118. Blue is now below 100 at 80 or 98. A bit more farms there. Gold deposits down to 600, so not too much is left. What was the last Vizier point in? It did go for the Advanced Academy. Palace Guard now charging the way forward. He does have 14 spring golds. The problem is its speed. These Palace Guards basically horse and movement speed, while spring golds are technically counter to them. But with this high speed of the Palace Guard, they also counter to the spring golds. So it's all about positioning in this situation. Supply starting to engage. Janissary is firing away. They have right now 25 damage versus just 8 armor. Supply does fall back a little bit there. Paliscar still pursuing. Got all these forces now pushing along the flank. A handful of crossbowmen. Not elite crossbowmen. And the Spring Gulls will help clean up the last bit there. Let's see, just villagers here going for the stone. That's just Monk there, trying to claim the Sacred Site. Bit of extra stone walls for blue. Looks like he is starting to fully wall up his side of the map. Maybe we'll see a stone tower here to protect the Sacred Site. Probably not. Paliscar pushing on the flank. Of course, with now the stone walls, they'll have trouble breaking through. Couple of units here, they can get overwhelmed by the Paliscar, no problem. Great Bombard. Oh, gotta make sure you don't go on the other side of the gates, or else he will get picked off. Paliscar, they're just in a general move order, trying to find opening, but there are none. Blue's now pushing over here. Got a good number of nest of bees, a hive of bees, if you will. Spearmen now pursuing the Spahi. Spring Gulls can't do much versus the keep. And so right now, blue is actually lacking a lot of anti-structure damage here. Got torches and a Mangonel. That's pretty much it. But it is set ablaze. Got some forward battering rams here, ready for to batter down the gates. And looks like that Great Bombard does go out ahead and gets picked off there. Is the Hidden Imperial Armory was deploying out now? It's currently deploying out Great Bombards, not Spring Gulls. You know, maybe Spring Gulls would be a better option. Be faster producing, a bit more effective as a counter versus all the Paliscar. But of course, Great Bombards still be useful at battering down all the structures, which is something he is actually lacking. Keep his force fully garrisoned, does have the crosswind placements, able to get some great damage onto these Paliscar. Paliscar head up north, these guys heading over the right side. Some of these villagers are getting hit, boiling oil being very useful. And now got these Spearmen Paliscar backing on off, bit of damage there onto the outpost. And now we've got Zuzi's library, so he's going for Ming Dynasty. You'll have all the dynasties deployed in the field. Spahi can't break on through. Got a second layer of walls being deployed in the field. And this Spahi do manage to get an angle to hit that battering ram. I wonder if the villagers can get on top of the wall and throw torches down onto the battering ram. Oh, either way, the wall has been knocked down. Let's see, got a big wave of battering rams being pulled out right there. One thing that Red could try doing is sneak in a couple Paliscar or Spearmen behind the gates and infest your opponent's base with battering rams as well. Last remaining crossbowmen are here, and those units do get repaired. Over on the left side, do have now a big group of Spahi here. Battering rams breaking down to more walls. And there we go, the walls have been breached. Paliscar in a hold movement, hold ground stance. Battering ram easily goes on down there. Ring placement walls have been queued on up, but can't reach it, of course. Over on the right side, Spring Gulls being brought back, destroying more of the wall segments, was actually a good idea. And now here comes the battering rams. Villagers here to defend, but there's a good number of Paliscar to defend the battering rams. Villagers, I think, heading to repair the keep. Spahi trying to engage his Paliscar. And Spahi only slightly faster than Paliscar. So they actually have a bit of trouble catching up to them. And looks like they're just heading right there. Great Bombard would be a great pick. And more of the infrastructure over here is going on down. Palace Guard now pushing towards into the left side of the map, trying to claim some more villager kills. Spahi pursuing these guys, Spahi pursuing these guys. Left side, just have villagers cooking wood, and a battery ram being torched down by some villagers, who also battered down these walls. Red is backing off over here, trying to find that gold deposit, or what's non-existent of it. Mosque will go down. Interesting place for a mosque. Probably just need a forward spot to blow out imams to collect up sacred sites because he has no relics on the map. Another gate going on up. We got a red keep going up here, but looks like the Janissaries will gun down those villagers. Probably now pursuing these battering rams, which of course they will run to a brick wall. Villagers will be saved there. Right now, blue does 75 villagers, which allows him to field a much larger army. He's not pop capped at the moment. He has a decent float of food, well, massive float of food, some wood, some gold. While right now, red does have a good float of all resources, including stone. I wonder if he split those pagodas. Let's see. Those are barracks. I see 2 relics in there, which means there's pagodas. Yep, he has built pagodas. Okay, we'll get a good amount of income from there. Palace Guards push way forward. Does find some hits there on these great bombards. And Battering just taking out more of the gates. Great Bombard will be safe. You can use Janissaries to repair it up. They do have a siege repair ability. Palace Guards trying to decapture the sacred sites. Sacred sites will be used for both players to get a little bit extra gold income. Let's see, what gold is left on the map? Red, there's actually a decent amount of gold here, 3,800. Over here, this gold deposit has 42,000, which, not 42,000, 4,200. So a decent amount of gold there as well. And I see a bit of blue inside, gold inside blue's walls. So Pahi falling on back. This gold deposit has 108, so just send 1 villager. So there's still a decent amount of gold left on the map. Red has a decent amount of granaries here, but of course pretty far away from any sort of taxable drop-off point. But if he really needs to, he can always collect up those taxes and get a little bit of gold going. No, I say a little. The problem is, it's the distance. Pulling out a town center here could be good, just to help drop off the taxes and get about, by the time he needs to get it, could have around 2,000 gold there. Which can get you quite a bit of fuel, especially for Palace Guard, or what, 25 gold? Yep. And right now with Ming Dynasty, they do also do plus 20% damage. 6 Nest of Bees. Problem is, his bonus force is mostly Sipahi. And not too many Janissaries at the moment. Thank you for the follow. I gotta thank a lot of people after this game. Take time and read them all off. A good number of bombards, a great number of great bombards. And those couple villagers may go down there. We've got 68 villagers left, but he's at pop. No, he's not a pop cap. He is low in wood, so he needs to get that fixed. Red is also at 84 villagers, so both of them are relatively low in villagers, and actually Red's relatively low in food. He's going for another Grenadiers. Nest of Bees fire a volley there, largely missing. Mangonel fires, hits some infantry. Mangonel does go down, the Great Bombard's firing. Nest of Bees firing against some Sipahi and Metter. Sipahi charging way forward, Nest of Bees firing away. Sipahi advancing, fires a good volley down those Sipahi, getting some decent damage there. But Sipahi do find some of these Nest of Bees. You intercepted by some spearmen. Good volley there. Regular bombards do take a bit of damage. Their volley falls on back, and the Ottoman player has surrendered. This Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to next replay. And before I get started on the next replay, I do need to use a quick restroom break. Please give me one moment. If you guys have a replay in mind, please let me know. My apologies, I'm back. Let's find a replay. Let's see, this was not one I've looked at. Let's see. 21 minutes, a little bit short. I try to eye for at least 25. 27, this shall do. Let's see. Looks like I got about 17 follows. Thank you for the follows. Let's see now. Thank you, Tater Tutor, for a follow. For name Masterai 2020, thank you for the follow. King Smurf AoE4, thank you for the follow. Suji the Murderuth, but that name will enough to fit on somebody's plate. Thank you for the follow. And sorry about that. Let's get started. Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Age of Empires 4 replay. Spawn on the bottom left side as the Blue House of Lancaster. We got L, Louis, MT. On the north side as the Magenta Japanese. We got This Ain't My First Rodeo, Mate. When it comes to map generation, I do see both. Thank you for the follow, which I scrolled down, I can't see it. My apologies, I am disorganized. Not used to this many notifications. Japanese player has both his deer deposits spawned behind him, so a relatively safe spot. With a buried deposit down there, finds a local doggo, and looks like House of Lancaster player is pushing forward with his spearmen. There are currently 3 gold deposits up here, but of course he can always get gold from another source such as stone, but that is also spawned forward. There's also this gold deposit up here. Spearmen. He has right now 3 spearmen on the field. Oh, he's herding the deer towards his town center. That's interesting. Both his deer deposits spawned up north. His berry as well. He has his gold, natural gold right there. Seems a little bit far. Magenta has spotted this gold deposit over here. Got a decent amount of wood here, so it's easy to wall off this direction. Villagers do get stabbed a little bit there, nothing too significant though. Right now the Japanese player does have enough gold to age on up. Just needs a little bit more food. Has not... Oh, he has researched a level 1 wheelbarrow. Whatever it's called. I can never pronounce any sort of name in this game. And Blue has herded those deer all the way back to the town center. Hero storehouse now being deployed in the field, and Blue has not just now started touching his gold. 7 villagers. Spearman push way forward. Good number of sheep there. Does stab on the sheep. Kills off a number of deer. I wonder if he's going to go for professional scout. The deer deposit is relatively forward, so it's somewhat easier to grab, but the spearmen are already existing, making it harder to grab. Handful of Yumi archers will help clean up the spearmen though. And looks like the wolves are still trying to get their these spearmen. They want to play fetch with these sticks that they're carrying. Up north, the blue scout does have a decent number of sheeple following him. Some weird deformation there. Nothing on the map, so I wonder what this is supposed to be. Some bit of Badland or something like that? Weird. Don't see any other landmarks like, say, Ronins or abandoned observation post on this map. Got a decent amount of sheep, well, got a decent number of deer, boar, and berries over here, so quite a bit of food in this valley, so, and same thing over here as well. Now we've got the Castle Lancaster being deployed in the field. Forge now under fire, spearmen being brought on back. Oh, got the age up there now for Magenta. Going for barracks. He can go for some Dark Age Samurai to deal with the spearmen. He only has 11 gold though, and Samurai what, 25 gold? Or 30 gold? Either way, got some Dark Age Spearmen from Clone Field. He does not have enough gold for Hardened Spearmen, which is a weird thing to say, honestly. Usually you just have enough gold for Hardened Spearmen. 14 sheep there. There's a 15th one he could have grabbed, so a lot of sheep being brought back home. And he is eating the last of sheep now. There's still a deer carcass, a decent number of deer carcasses now. More, take a look. Castle Lancaster now deployed in the field, giving all of his nearby manors some additional health and a defensive arrow. Hardened Spear now being researched by the House of Lancaster. And got 3 spearmen charged way forward. And the Hardened Spearmen upgrades completed. However, they're a little bit wounded, so the healthier lower tier spearmen, Dark Age Spearmen, should be able to win out. Manor now being established. He's also cleaning up from this gold deposit as well, so he's cleaning up from 2 gold deposits at the same time. Wolf does get a bite there. Does finish off that guy there. Very nice. Another farmhouse. And, oh, down south, we got a pair of proxy barracks going for some Dark Age Samurai. The Odachi upgrades not available to age 3, so his opponent can deploy out, let's see, Billman. He can get the Billman research, right? Billman research is an age 2 research, will be not bad against the Samurai. Plus also make his Yeoman a little bit more effective as well as stripping armor for them. +1 range damage now being researched will help make his defense a little bit more effective. Couple more spearmen push away forward. Samurai trying to find opportunity to engage. The Lancaster Castle is effectively a glorified outpost. Of course, it does give a bit of a force multiplier with the nearby manors, but looks like blue only has the 1. Think of the follow. I need to fix that so I can see the... Thank you, Fisher Shans, for the follow. Decent number of samurai in the field. You know, it's actually been a while last time I've seen a large number of feudal age samurai. You really don't see samurai built all too often nowadays. At least feudal age samurai. But House of Lancaster is one of the civilizations who has options of dealing with the Age 2 heavy infantry, which I generally regard as some of the best infantry in the game. Villagers backing on off, carrying a bit of a load of gold with them. They do still retain the short bow attack, so he's doing a bit of stutter step there. Of course, English do have access to the network castles, which simply House of Lancaster does not have access to. So these villagers will have pretty slow attack speed. But overall, very good micro there, very good setup, and does clean up all those samurai without losing in those villagers. So far, both players not lost a single villager this entire game, and blue has a destroy value of 910 versus a destroy value of just 80. Which was a single spearman, wasn't it? Samurai push way forward once again. Got another manor being pulled in the field. And Lancaster Castle does not provide garrison space like most other Age 2 landmark defensive fortifications. White Tower now being pulled in the field. This is going to get a little bit messy for blue. Going to take a bit of damage there. Magenta does spot the White Castle, the White Tower, being pulled in the field, so she realizes his opponent is trying to age up and has enough resources to age up. Kills off a second villager, nothing too significant right now. We'll lose entire force. Not too many manors on the field as well, so right now the 2 manors right now will provide approximately 2 villages worth of income, which will equalize the income. And these spearmen almost down as well. None of these villagers are even close to go. One village close to going down, maybe 2. But they should be able to deal with these guys no problem. They'll just get a bit of a shank there. Villagers right now have 7 damage, so they should be able to finish off both these guys in one shot. A nice little body block there with the villagers there trying to save that one wounded villager. And so far, blue has killed off 0 villagers so far this game. We do now have a farmhouse and another farmhouse there. Samurai backing on off. Magenta's not too far away from aging up. And now we do have some Earl's Guard now being pulled in the field. Or that was free Earl's Guard from the White Tower. Their dagger throw ability, such a weird ability to me. It's a, I don't know. This seems out of place for it as a unit. I don't know if any historical reference of Earl's Guards able to throw throwing knives at the opponent. But it is an 18 damage dagger at a decent range. But that small force of Earl's Guard will help him stay defensive. We're probably going to see more manors being pulled in the field, or maybe not. Monastery, trying to get some relics. Going for double monastery there, so he's trying to grab all the relics. Now we've got the floating gate being pulled on the field. We'll probably get the first Yoshiro put into a stable for some mounted samurai. That's usually the staple, the first Yoshiro. Earl's Guard pushing up north. We've got a good number of samurai and a bannerman there. Tries to go conversion ritual. It does get sliced apart there. Got some crossbowmen now being pulled in the field. Very nice. Another round of daggers as well. Now we do have some Onobugashas, or have pronounced their name, being pulled in the field. Menchita will back off north. We do have a couple spearmen here. And there's the age up for the Japanese player. Let's see, where is the floating gate at the moment? There it is. There's first Yoshiro going straight into Daimyo Manor, not into a stable. Got some stable and archer range all being employed on the field. Handful of spearmen here. Got a monk here. And this monk will be Extra holy. Shinto Priest getting gunned down. Now we've got the Veteran Samurai research. Do we see the Otachi research just yet? Doesn't appear to be. So they're going to still retain their Naginatas. This crossbowman did push a bit too far forward. Earl's Guard are still pretty healthy. So slowly going down. There's Oni Bugashas. Yeomen will be effective versus them. These are, of course, light infantry. And it looks like Magenta will clean up that. You have a knight on the field, starting to transition to some knights. And thus the monk will go down. Nice thing about going to knights, the samurai's upgrade only improves their damage versus infantry, not versus cavalry. They do need to get a bit more melee armor. These Ona Bugashas, of course, are a high attack speed unit. You should really prioritize getting melee armor to help counteract their damage. Knight charging way forward and backwards. Wait. Magenta's pulling out some walls back here. Okay. I'm not sure what this is really supposed to accomplish, but it definitely interesting. He'll keep his proxy barracks. I wonder, has Blue even seen these proxy barracks? Let's see. Yes, it appears that Blue has spotted the proxy barracks, maybe the walls. I'm not so sure how accurate the Fog of War when going into and out of it when it comes to caster mode. But Magenta now has a somewhat fortified proxy base. Blue's not pushed forward, has pulled out some Hoblars, a lighter version of a regular horseman. So they're more of a counter unit than normal. I like them. You take a bit of damage there. We do also have some handful of Onimusha to put on field. The Japanese alternative to the crossbowman. Earl's Guard and crossbowman falling on back. Got a yeoman on the field as well. Nice little mixed force here by Blue. He has not put out any of these musters, levies. Right now, Blue doesn't have too... starting to get some more manor count, but has not really been trying to pump those manors out. +2 melee damage for the Japanese player. Do you also have the Daimyo Manor right now? Daimyo Palace needs a little bit more stone. Another Shinto Priest, Yoshiro, now pulled on the field. And does throw it straight into the farmhouse. No free knight. Some of these villagers may go down. Does get picked off there by the Spring Golden placement. These knights backing off, still being pursued by the Onimusha. Onimusha moving down the bottom right. We got these knights slowly being picked on off. Doesn't appear to have got the Whistling Arrow upgrade. Oh, we got the Hoblars there. Hoblars, of course, are a cheaper horseman variant, so they get +7 damage versus range, such as these Onimusha. Very nice. Oh, thank you for the YouTube subscription. Welcome to the channel. Knights heading back up north, though they're pretty wounded. Maybe falling back to some monks get healed on up wouldn't be half bad. Which is straightforward for a decent sized force. Got the Castle Lancaster there. Another manor going on up. That would be manor number 5, I believe. Or, nope, says manor limit reached. Does it off? The 6th one is... There it is. So all the manors up and going. And could go for some levies here. Get some demi-lancers and some yeomen. Yeomen probably be decent right here. Does have good number of light infantry. Demi-lancers, I never really seen them all that effective. They're weird. They seem awfully weak. Or heavy cav. Of course, if you get, what, 8 of them for 500, it's probably adequate value for them. Yeoman and crossbowman push way forward. Does get some good hits there. Got the Oblars and the Knights engaging some of these villages up north. Right now, Blue has 59 villagers. Magenta has 51. We do now have the +3 manor limit as well. So should be able to get up to 9 relatively soon, of course. Magenta does not have field or siege engineers now pulled in the field. Spearman does find some of these villagers. Spearman will take out 1 villager. Looks like a handful of Spearman and Onimusha does find these units. And looks like all these forces may fall back. Does lose 1 there. Villagers could have got a bit of a shank there. These knights are very wounded. Does find a villager there. Does lose another knight. Magenta did push his way forward a little bit, but does run into all the manors. Right now, Magenta may just need to get out a trebuchet or 2 to help just start sieging down this infrastructure that's open. After all, a large number of the valuable manors are on the front line, so siege weapons will be a good way to do economical damage to his opponent right now. Magenta's also taking, or Blue's taking time to click up the venison over here, going for a fortified outpost as well. Just have to rely on concealment rather than any sort of proper cover there. Veteran Hoblar research, veteran Spearman research. Daimyo Palace has been researched, almost as enough for the Daimyo or the Shogunate Palace, Shogunate Castle, blah. Right now, Blue does have an army of 62, has a value, a smaller value than Magenta's, who has a similar army size. In terms of economy, looks like Magenta has twice the amount of gold, Blue has triple the amount of wood, food is relatively similar, so seems like their economies are very similar right now. Blue does have a slight villager advantage, though. And of course, all the manors. Bit of fire there. Magenta's pushing forward his army. It is higher quality. Going for more the level 3 Blacksmith research and plus 2 range damage as well. Got the Billman upgrade. I'm so surprised I haven't seen that earlier. Blue's falling back, a lot of mobile forces trying to get these range forces there. Got Mounted Samurai and Horsemen engaging these forces, very nice. He is fighting near towards all the manors. The White Tower is also now getting on in, getting in some good shots. Though now, right now, Magenta's having trouble with all the urbanized terrain, and trouble getting all the melee units in combat. Magenta's also claimed all the sacred sites now. And it looks like Magenta's army will be cleaned on up. When it comes to destroy value, Blue has a decent destroy value advantage that can easily change with 1 big engagement. Another Shinto priest idol here. Of course, Magenta does also have all the secret sites. So he has a countdown victory in timer. Last unit will be picked on off. Magenta right now is armor 25, his army 39, with similar army value at the moment. We do have now the Shire Levy, so he's going for a quick summon of Yeoman. This will go for cost 1200. He also already got the Demi Lancers. There's one of them. I'm probably mistaken them for some knights. Who's not pushing forward with a decent number of these yeomen. And I think as well, these Demi Lancers do have a value of 24 or 240, so the same value as knights, but they don't have nowhere near the same value or effectiveness as knights. So if there's a large number of Demi Lancers in the field, the value is inflated down here. Mangonels do fire some damage, nothing too significant. Mangonels going to be very useful against these yeomen. Yeomen do move a little bit faster, so they have a bit more capability to dodge those shots. The damage on those knights. Hope those Hoblars are falling back. No, they're probably not going to be pick off any of those Mangonels. There's a bit of a miss rally overall from blue. Only taking a little bit of damage onto them. Outpost here probably won't be established. Do now have the synchronized shot ability being researched. Depending on the formations, that can be very effective or just not effective whatsoever. But it's generally a pretty powerful ability. I know it was nerfed in the last big balance patch, so the projectiles do come in a little bit slower, which I think is a good way to balance it, because beforehand it seemed pretty powerful. Probably hence why it got nerfed. Magenta Priest does go down there. Right now, both players have one Sacred Site captured. This map only has the 2. Blacksmith taking some fire there. Both players are pretty far from aging up, so this game's probably going to end in Castle Age. Got a good number of battering rams here, and the thing as well, taking out these manners are a good target for those battering rams, of course. Magenta's sort of charging forward a little bit, single file, which is not good. He has a good number of Mangonels in the field. Forces coming in for a bit of a concave. Some blues forces are engaging. Good number of mounted around the field. There's a synchronized shot. Gets a pretty good hit there. It looks like not all of them were firing. Baron's trying to get cleaned on up. Got the Hoblars to go around the flank. It seems like a good number of the combat siege weapons are gone down for Magenta, but he still has a good number of these battering rams pushed way forward. And we've got the Yeoman managed to get a bit of a flank. Not like flanking really matters much for ranged units. Handful of these spearmen push way forward. And looks like Magenta's assault has failed and he decides to surrender. This Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Let's go on to the next player. Let's see. Next person on the leaderboard. Sounds like you guys recently got done watching a game with it. Not sure if any of them are visible. And it's hidden. So can't view any of those. Next person on the list. Looks like they're not hidden. Just make sure that's the same person. So I saw 2. Yep. Avoid the customs. Is my I don't know why I just can't download the custom maps. Let's see. Too short, too short, too short. 27 minutes. It's a mirror matchup. I don't really like casting mirror matches. 11's too short. Try to see at least 25 minutes. Nothing's long enough. Let's see now. Handful replays to peruse. 17's too short. 16's too short. 16's too short. 19's too short. 23, we'll keep an eye on that one, since I'm sort of striking out on decent length ones. Mirror matchup. Yep, we'll do, what was it, this one? Yeah. Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Age of Mythology, not even Mythology, Age of Empires 4 replay. Spawn on the bottom right side is the Blue Knights Templar. We got Vortex. Spawn on the other bottom right, we have, as the pink Jeanne d'Arc, we got L, Louis, MT. Of course, this is this map where the two bases are pretty close by each other. Trying to see how that'll change the dynamic between these two. Knights Templar has a lot of different units and capabilities, but I don't think anything really may warrant more heavy infantry play. Jeanne d'Arc, of course, is more focused on Jeanne d'Arc, so she goes down, she has a quick respawn for that. The Red Palace should be actually particularly useful as an Age 4 landmark as well then. Other than that, it could get pretty messy pretty quick. There's a number of things that Knights Templar are now thinking about have some good Age 2 heavy infantry and other infantry units, so there could be some fun stuff that goes on. Blue is currently torching down the Wolf Den. Pink's trying to get some free shanks onto him. He does have a spearman here, so it looks like Blue has deployed out some early spearmen. Multiple early spearmen. Of course, we've got a number of local doggos being spawned from the Wolf Den. A couple of pink spearmen now pushing way forward as well. Additionally, they'll also access the Ronin, but looks like they don't generate any charges until next age. Blue only has 2 spearmen, pink has 3. Got another blue spearman push way forward. Something's on fire. That may be the sound effect of the merchant camp. And Spearman versus Spearman, both of them 17 health, so they'll probably have mutual destruction, but now it's 5 versus 1. Get some hits there. Even though the wolves pose a threat to this, the remaining Spearmen. And the wolves are actually becoming a bit of a problem right now. Blue has 4 spearmen, pink does have 5. And there's 4 wolves in this area. While the spearman would probably win the fight, it's going to make it harder for blue overall, with as many wolves already biting him. He needs to let pink push forward and let him get bitten by the wolves, and then he can push forward. And blue is actually out of sheep. Ooh, and he's not really moving all too well. Jeanne d'Arc is still, of course, not leveled up. You know, I've actually never seen a Dark Age fight where Jeanne d'Arc has gotten to level 2 and be useful. Probably a Huntress variant. To get bonus damage versus Spearman wouldn't be half bad. But overall, it looks like Blue is going to lose this fight, getting bitten by a good number of wolves. We got Kingdom of France being queued on up. Get access to the Chevaulegers and make all your units cheaper in gold by, what was it, 5%? And Blue's just losing a good number of spearmen here. Wolves do get a spearman kill there. The wolves are becoming a problem for pink as well. School of Cavalry now being queued on up by Jeanne d'Arc, which is pretty much standard. Spearmen do fall back and now heading towards this Wolf Den, who's currently still at full health. The Wolf Den is set ablaze, so that gives Pink a bit of gold. The Spearmen's going to get overran by these wolves. Multiple archer ranges and a stable now being built by the Knights Templar player. And these are villagers, not pilgrims. The pilgrims research has not been queued on up, or at least one level has been queued on up. Villagers shanking some of these spearmen. One of these spearmen are quite low, or sometimes not easy to clean them up. Jeanne d'Arc can now be leveled up. The Huntress variant is probably pretty good for her. Does got a villager there. Does go for the Man at Arms variant, so has access to Holy Wrath. She is classified as heavy infantry. Does have 3 melee armor and 10 damage. Plus 10 versus huntable animals, which means probably does not do bonus damage versus wolves. And also this Wolf Den does get set ablaze as well. I think by Pink, though. Scout's falling back. I'm not sure if Pink got it or maybe Blue Scout got it. Not sure. He's not going for a defensive outpost here. And probably both players need to get some basic walls going here relatively soon. Of course, Blue will have access to Chevaliers. A lighter heavy cavalry, more close to the sofas. Now got a Royal Knight on the field as well. Over here we do have the Pilgrim. Does grant the gold immediately, but she does get killed off, but in theory she did provide the gold first. So some of these Pilgrims are going to be important, but needs to do it a little bit earlier. There's a Chevalier now deployed in the field, has 140 health or 160 maximum health, 2 armor, 14 damage, and regular knight attack speed. Archer does go down. We got the Lost Ronin. 1 charge is now available. That could be quite handy. Able to get some extra reinforcements to intercept these pilgrims. You know, actually, I don't think I've seen a Ronin deployed in the field. So I'd like to maybe see 1 or 2 of them. In theory, they should be heavy infantry, right? And that could be a good way to help counter out those archers. Good amount of damage on those spearmen. Divine Restoration could be used deployed right now. Just get the health going and get the building recharge. Got a decent force now pushed forward, including some archers. Those archers are right there. Pilgrims, I think, are still heading to this first one. So it looks like he's getting 130 gold every minute with these pilgrims. Provides 12 experience, suggesting that each pilgrim is worth 120 in value, giving Jeanne d'Arc a decent amount of experience for killing off civilians. How very French. Pink does have 2 Royal Knights here, but there's a good number of archers here, and as well a handful of the spearmen. Jeanne d'Arc spearmen are quickly being picked on off there, and as well as the archers as well. Royal Knights charging way forward as well. More Royal Knights in the build queue. Pilgrims advancing, and the Lost Ronin is available to Pink at the moment. An ambush spawn, like a flank of Ronin, could be useful. I'm just trying to have one of the players, justify one of the players to grab it. Or actually use it. But looks like Blue's going to be capturing it now. He may actually go for the Ronin since he's actually taking time to capture it. And does pull out Ronin. Let's see. I haven't seen Ronin yet deployed. Looks like it does scale with level, age ups. Has 10 damage, has sustained attack speed, 1-1 armor. Okay, they're not too fantastic. They are classified as heavy with a base armor of 1 and 1. That's not too great. Though, with the automatic age up stats, they do start out with 2-2 armor, so effectively a footman. I guess you pay what you get for 100 gold unit value. I wonder, do they have increased torch damage? Nope, looks like normal torch damage. They do actually have decent movement speed. They have Musafati Warrior movement speed, so that is what their big advantage. So they can mix into other compositions, more than just heavy infantry engage archer composition. Turn torch on that barracks now. Down south, got the Royal Knights and the Scout push way forward. Of course, this little bit of feints is preventing villagers from putting up gold, which is very nice. No level 2 pilgrims just yet. +1 range damage on the wood, or +1 range damage for pink. Blue's already got +1 range damage, going with +1 range armor. So they're keeping their archer upgrades relatively similar. Maybe, I'm trying to think what each player should age up with. Blue could age up to get out the, was it Mercenary Crossbowman, the Genoese Crossbowman. Since the French like to go for their Royal Knights and Arbaletiers, which could be a good combination there. Some Genoese Crossbowmen to gauge all the Royal Knights, heavier Crossbowmen. There's also the Heavy Spearmen from, I forget which age up, what's the name of it, which also are particularly effective against those Royal Knights, but would be vulnerable to the Arbaletiers. So right now I'm more leaning towards the Genoese Crossbowmen as a unit. Granted, there's always other benefits for the age up, and guess we'll have to wait and see. Jeanne d'Arc probably should go for the Guildhall. Doesn't have a big mass of Royal Knights in the field to snowball with an early Royal Bloodline, so I think Guildhall will be better for Jeanne d'Arc. And as much as I want to see also for age for the Royal Engineering School to get the Royal Cannons and other Royal heavy gunpowder units, the Red Palace is going to be just by default to lock down this area. The only reason I want to see the other French landmark is because it's been, I think, over a year since the last Castle replay with somebody actually deploying that landmark out on the field. Blue has obtained this little merchant camp. A nice little trickle of resources. 15 of wood, food, and gold. Effectively 1 villager. Nice little spear brace there. Royal Knights charging way forward. Though the other Age 4 landmark will of course give the Royal Cannon rather than just the regular cannons, which does have artillery shot ability. I wonder, can that range, the artillery shot ability, range the Templars' headquarters from the low ground? If it can, there would be an argument for the Royal Cannons. And plus it would be useful to help engage all the potential fortresses that Blue may deploy out on the field, though it does have technology to have gunpowder resistance from those same cannons. That Chevalier does not go down. Good number of Chevaliers in the field. Good number of Spearmen push way forward. Good strike there. Let's see right now. There are 2 charges of Ronin available. Now, the Ronin would also match Jeanne d'Arc's movement speed, since Jeanne d'Arc does have that faster movement speed. I just thought of something as well. Jeanne d'Arc's champions and Jeanne d'Arc's riders. I'm assuming champions would do bonus damage versus the heavy spearmen, since they're called spearmen. I hope so. And if go for Genoese crossbow, then Jeanne's riders could be quite decent on help countering them. Though champions are probably still going to be useful, since the regular spearmen still pose a threat. Pilgrim does go down there, very nice. Chevaliers engaging these Royal Knights now. Archers engaging. The Chevaliers, of course, have 1 less armor than most of the heavy infantry. No Holy Wrath. Oh, there's a Holy Wrath there. Could use Divine Restoration, get herself healed on up. Down south, got some Royal Knights moving around. So far, Pink's killed off 8 civilians. And Pink does have a decent villager advantage as well. Oh, 8 villager advantage worth. Jeanne d'Arc's also locked down this sacred site. Blue could rotate the pilgrims go over here. Be a bit more risky, but in this case, a possibility. Jeanne d'Arc's about ready to level up as well. I see both an argument for the champions and riders, but then again, at this point in time, the riders are... We're talking about the Genoese crossbowman, which his opponent has not gone for just yet. So I think champions probably the better option right now. Particularly right now. Get some nice Castle Age heavy infantry in Feudal Age. Should be pretty effective. Royal Knights charging way forward to take a little bit of damage there. Backing on off now. Spearmen advancing. Up north we do have these Royal Knights push way forward. Not Royal Knights, Chevaliers, which can take out a good number of villagers there. And this can be quite devastating, losing all these villagers. Royal Knights way over here, Royal Knights way over there. Looks like... There goes the 3rd villager. That could have been far worse for Pink. And we do have champions now pulling the field, very nice. And now the Angevin Empire, which I believe that's the one you get the heavy spearmen. What else does it provide? I always forget. Also improves fortress and dock health by 30%. Which is nice. Nothing critical. Usually castles, keeps, fortresses, they're either alive or dead, or really ever in between. The extra 30 health will make it so more in between happens. Well, that's a good number of wolves. Looks like the wolves are still alive and good number of villagers gone down. Zalak Dago's now being finished off. We do now have the age complete for the Knights Templar. Royal Institute actually being researched. Does have a decent number of Royal Knights and of course archers. Pumbaa will go down there. And do now have, let's see, veteran Chevaliers, veteran Archers, veteran Spearmen, so getting all his veterancy going. Does have level 2 Pilgrims as well. Outpost will go down. Good number of archers there. Got veteran archers, veteran royal knights. Do we see the royal bloodlines research this yet? Not yet. In my opinion, that's generally the reason why you go for Royal Institute, to get super heavy royal knights in Castle Age. Does get some good values there. Take out some of those chevaliers. Holy Wrath, of course, probably is at maxed out charges at the moment. Yep, max out charges. And this little bit of blue force could be picked on off there. Scout almost goes down. Got some regular crossbow pulling the field. And looks like some pilgrims going down. Blue's army is now coming over here. Does get a nice little charge. Royal Knights just back out of this region. Too many units nearby. Got some Brother Templars now pulling the field, which effectively are even heavier cavalry. Let's see. Right now they have 275 health and 24 base damage. Royal Knights have 24 base damage, and with the Royal Bloodlines research, which is being researched now, veteran Royal Knights will be superior to the Brother Templar. They have same attack speed, maybe different charge attack, and of course can set up as well, so yeah, 37 lance charge, which is equal to the Royal Knights. So once the Royal Bloodlines gets researched, the Royal Knights will be superior to the Brother Templars. They do cost a decent amount. Base cost, what, 270? Of course, reduced by France to put it down to 253. Archers started stepping away. They are veteran archers, only +1 range damage, plus 2 range damage now being almost completed. And now we'll offer a decent amount of firepower against the Chevaliers, since they do have one less armor than normal heavy cav. Great status up there by Jeanne d'Arc. Blows out more champions there, very nice. Not too many spearmen left for them to engage, but free units are free units. And we've got now the Royal Knights charging way forward, and Blue has nothing to stop these Royal Knights other than a handful of crossbowmen, which is simply not enough. Divine Restoration is available. I think she should pull out sooner rather than later. She's only got a lot of experience as well. Holy Wrath's cast there that right now does 30 damage, which archers and crossbow have about 80 health. So decent chunk of damage, nothing too crazy. Divine Restoration is utilized there. Archers started stepping the way forward. Number of exposed villages here as well. But it's probably best to focus on the archers and worry about taking out the villages later. And Blue decided to go ahead and surrender. This Angrade saying, "Thank you for watching," and on to the next replay. Let's see now. Let's find another spoof, not spoof, Smurf name for this one. Not sure how common this name is, so may not. It's all, yeah, got a bit of 50-50 guess of which one it is. It's all capitalized, I guess correctly, and it's hidden either way. Nope. Think of the follow, Schwartz 350Z. Welcome to the stream. Let's see now. Any decent replays? Or like, it's been a while. I cast that one, but looks like a number of hybrid maps. It's a mirror matchup. I don't like casting mirror matchups. Too short, too short, too short. I'm gonna do that one if I have oh, here we go. And before I get started, I do need to rush them again. Please give me one moment. My apologies, I'm back. With a 38-minute replay, just gotta make sure I don't need to go in the game. Right now I've been drinking a decent amount of fluids. My AC is out, so the only thing I have cooled myself off is cold fluids. Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Age of Empires 4 replay. Spawn bottom right side is the green Mongols, we got ranked opponents. Spawn top left side is the yellow French, we got VES and Totan. This is a hybrid map, which does include 4 deep sea fishies on each of these 4 lakes. So, it is technically a hybrid map, but also hybrid map also indicates it's going to be combat at sea, more just hybrid economy. Mongols, is he going for a spearman rush? We do have the barracks going on up, we got the Ovo now deployed in the field. And yeah, we'll be collecting some sheep, and we'll be able to spot the barracks relatively soon. French, of course, can just pull out spearman, engage the spearman. That pretty much sums up how he can defend himself, or just try to sort of haul down, try to lock down with playing on the town center. We do have now this dock deployed in the field, can't get any arrow ships to defend, so it's probably best for the Mongol player to, rather than trying to he's going to try to collect the gold quickly, try to get enough gold to age up. The Mongol player can either try to interrupt the gold collection, preventing the age up, or make his way over to the dock to prevent the fishies. Both are a valid option, I would say, right now. It looks like the spearmen are heading towards the dock now. Deletes the mining camp there to prevent the raid bounty. He probably has enough gold. Yep, there we go. When it comes to these deep sea fish, 2 is the soft cap of how many fishing boats you want to put on a deep sea fish. 3, I think, is the optimal amount. Then you can start withdrawing from the 1,000. 4, you start trading pretty quick, and don't go for 5 per deep sea fish. You want to probably go for 3 here, and with the extra distance, 4, 4, and maybe 5. Just don't go for too many fishing boats, so you drain that pretty quickly. Though there is a decent amount of shore fish if you do drain the deep sea fish relatively quickly. School of Cavalry now being deployed on the field, which is basically standard. Looks like Yellow's trying to herd these deer to the town center. It's like herding cats. Not very easy. More spearmen pushing over here. Going to have 5 spearmen to engage this dock. And he's currently not building any more fishing boats at the moment. Green's now establishing his own dock as well. Is placing more in the center. I wonder if it's the Khan trying to corral? Nope. Looks like on another little scouting run. Yep, looks like just scouting out the map. School of Cavalry now deployed in the field, immediately going for an aeroship. Aeroships are incredibly powerful. Oh yeah, I forgot the French has the Royal Shipyards capability to get plus 10 population for building a dock. So this dock costing 150 is also gives you 100 wood rebate in form of population space, making it easier for the French to transition onto the water. Does the dock ablaze? Can probably let it burn down. Aeroship getting some good shore bombardment. Does destroy the dock entirely. Of course, one can be reestablished. And also, speaking of which, now he's at pop capped. So I said it gave a bit of rebate. It's also now, in this particular situation, a little bit of a double-edged sword. The Mongol player is now aging up, going for the Deer Stones, will give him access to the early Yam network research, as well as the Khan's hunters, which makes Magadai from generally not useful to relatively okay, but still not particularly great. Outposting Saoshir, not big surprise, has a handful of defensive spearmen. Got a offensive horseman rather than royal knight. Deerstone's almost complete. Has reestablished a dock here. Some hits there on these villagers. Try and go for another mining camp. Archers being pulled in the field. Very nice. Spearman push way forward. Takes off one of the spearmen there. Villagers backing on off, takes a little bit of damage there. And now I got the hardened spearman there for the Mongols, giving them a little bit extra health to work with. Spearman moving around. Local doggo, gains some bites there. And now the stable now deployed in the field, and another stable being deployed in the field as well. You only need one stable next to the elbow. You're generally not going to have a big float of stone. Right now can't afford a ×2 horseman, but not necessarily ×2 Keshik. And you probably can start pulling out some pastures over here. One or two can give you a decent amount of sheep in reserve. Well, of course, most players are going to start pursuing these fishing boats to get up all the fishies. We do now have some Keshiks on the build queue. Nobody's eyeing a second lake to get some food. Arrow ship here, a nice little patrol move to protect that shoreline. Archers there, got another Royal Knight. And now got the hardened spearman research now for the French. Need to spread out some of these fishing boats, send some to these other deep sea fish, because this is going to be rapidly being drained. Scout almost goes down, probably just keep that back a little bit. Archers before, gets a bit of volley there on one of the villagers. Don't have textiles. Keshiks push way forward, a good number of Keshiks has a couple spearmen. But there's enough units here to overwhelm those spearmen, no problem. Some of the spearmen are being picked off by those archers. Spearmen being leashed back into formation, giving them extra mobility. Got now a +1 range damage now being reached by the Mongol player. Nice little spear brace there. And gets impaled in retaliation. Catches here in good numbers. Needs to get out some more Royal Knights and Spearmen. Mongol Spearmen looks like overall hitting not really the various cavalry units, and Yellow's doing a great job of focusing down those Spearmen. Those two Royal Knights are still alive. Now just some Keshiks and the Khan himself still alive. Arrows on cooldown. Also in range damage now on the way of the French players, also going for the extended lines. And now we've got the Whistling Arrow research. Very nice. And it is just a regular Whistling Arrow. It is a technology I think Mongol players need to go for more often. This is an incredibly powerful upgrade. Going from 5 seconds to 10 seconds is quite massive, and the improved upgrade is worth the stone, going to 12 seconds. And of course make it a little bit reliable casting by having a bit of a larger radius. It makes, because most conflicts are usually determined within the first initial engagement, and able to give yourself 12 seconds rather than 5 seconds of the initial engagement is incredibly powerful. Keshik's just idle up there. +1 range armor now on the way for the French. The Mongols doesn't have any range units on the field, barring the Khan himself. Over here, I suppose still be useful resisting the emplacement damage and defensive fire, which is always pose a threat. Royal Knight could it be picked off there? Could use the Whistling Arrow to make these guys catch up. He has 10 seconds of now absurdly high movement speed as well. So talk about hit and runs. He puts more emphasis on the run part though. Royal Knight does go down there. This Keshik does manage to escape on out of there with 3 health remaining. This Archer does get a hit there, but due to its higher armor, does manage to resist it. And the little bit of lifesteal it has. Yellow's now pushed way over here as well. Keshik's trying to counterattack, but we've got too many Royal Knights and a handful of Spearmen here. I don't think it'll go great for green, but it looks like the Royal Knights are not engaging. The Spearmen will be discarded. And green's getting more and more reinforced deployed on the field. A couple of these Keshiks are very, very wounded. Royal Knights seem like a decent charge there. And the Keshiks are out here in more and more large numbers. Looks like the Khan has... no, the Khan's still alive. Oh, the Khan's just right there. Probably could have used a speed arrow there to really pursue these Royal Knights. Try and torch down this outpost. Try and crack it open and get to the delicious villagers inside. Nice, soft and chewy villagers. Does get on out of there. Trying to fall back there. Does torch down the outpost, but that's about it. Handful of Mongol archers are on the field, so starting to make a little bit of transition towards them. Does have +1 range damage now for them. Khan's Hunter, of course, can improve their range, make them a little bit more effective. And neither player has gone for a second lake so far. The Mongol player needs to split up his fishing boats. He's starting to. See, this deep sea fish has been greatly withdrawn. Before it runs out, you gotta make sure only 2 fishing boats are onto it, or else then you have to just wait for it to resupply and then come back to it later. Keshiks move around, trying to engage these villagers. Of course, got Royal Knights here for defense. They'll just get a bit of a shank there. Couple archers there. Got this force up north. Got more Keshiks here. So let me whittle down by these archers. Not too many spearmen are here on the field for yellow. He needs to get out more spearmen. Keshik's charging way forward. Ovo's been depleted. He does have 230 stone in reserve. Does use a speed arrow there, not the attack speed arrow for the archers. Try and close in distance. Able to close in this distance. Speed arrow has now subsided. Some of the green archers being focused down. Keshiks are slowly being whittled down. The Khan is still alive, but overall green will lose the fight. It looks like green will lose his entire army there. Got a slightly better destroy value for yellow, but it's relatively marginal. 1,000 is important, but can easily change with another good engagement for green. Khan has gone down, but since the Whistling Arrow's on cooldown, it's not a big issue. Got now Chivalry being established. Not really Wounded Knights would make good use of it. It was always a good idea to get that sooner rather than later. The Mongol player almost has enough gold to age up, needs a lot more food to age on up. The French player is far from both, is scraping bottom barrel both in food and gold, and wood is not exactly too high as well. Keshik's charging way forward. Let's see, the Mongol player could either go for the Steppe Redoubt or for the Kurultai. The Kurultai is a powerful offensive and defensive structure, but also the Steppe Redoubt could increase his gold income by 50%, which is quite significant. Providing plus 50% drop off also makes both gold inside his map last even longer. So there's an argument for both. It's at this point in time of the player's discretion. You can do a bit of trading this map. The trading post is just gotta get another counterpart over here. Be very exposed to the Mongol player, and at least the French player could always get the walls up. Mongols can't, so it's probably a bad idea to go eye for trade in the late game. So maybe better for the Mongol player to go for the Steppe Redoubt. Also, if he goes for our fast castle, you really probably should get those relics to get that passive gold income. Plus, when you get Type R, it gives you a bit of passive stone income as well. And since trade's not a really big possibility, the Cognitive Palace may be better for an Age 4 landmark. Not only provides you of unit value, it provides you about 800 resources per minute value. But also means you don't have to the White Stupa of Stone for all the extra defense places. It's not super feasible. Royal Knights now engaging those archers. Keshik's trying to finish off some of these archers. Does find some villagers, but I think the archers will take out the rest. Mongol archers get some good focus firing there onto these Royal Knights. All the spearmen have gone down. Nope, these are all archers. No reinforced spearmen. Single Keshik here to provide a bit of breathing room. Got the Khan and a couple Keshiks there. No spearmen on the build queue for the Mongols, nor spearmen on the build queue for the French. So they're keeping their compositions quite similar. Got the archer, got the spearmen, and got the heavy cavalry. Just that now they both agreed not to pull out spearmen. Let's see now. You're now textiles being researched by Yellow. Speed arrow now deployed in the field, giving 10 seconds of higher mobility. But the French player has just probably too many archers here to engage. One player does have more military force in the field. Has 26 for 21 archers. Many more Keshiks. Only 4 Royal Knights. Green maybe could have able to win that fight, but it'll be a Pyrrhic victory if he does win the fight. And of course, the reinforcements are another matter. Green has to go across the entire map for reinforcements, while Yellow's is on the front line. Green seems like a better position there with his archers now. Gains some good volleys. Gable gets some free damage on those Royal Knights. Good focus firing there. Green's now falling back. Got more Keshiks pushed way forward. The Mongol player and the French player both have some amount of gold stockpile. The Mongol player could make better use of a faster castaways than his opponent, because it will grant immediate access to the defense arrow, which +2/+2 armor for 10 seconds would make a lot of his units bulletproof. That would be quite important. Yellow's now falling back, taking severe losses on 24 units, 40 versus 40 units. As for reinforcing archers here, getting a nice little flank there. Keshik just pursuing these units. Let those Keshik just pursue those units, and he can just spend time to micro these forces, but right now he has nothing to buffer against the trickle of Royal Knights that are popping out. Airship could provide some shore bombardment relatively soon. Going for more fishing boats. Right now they have similar civilian counts. The French do build villagers faster, but the Mongols then doing a good job of calling those extra villagers. Looks like the French player has stabilized. Now got the Curl type being blown in the field, so we're not going to see the step route out. Then I would still select to see the Cognitive Palace. For the French player, I think the Guild Hall would be a little bit better. Don't think he can really make usage of the Royal Bloodlines is very powerful, but it doesn't really have a way to really get that ball going right now since he's already pretty behind in numbers. Got ×2 Keshika being blown in field, so he redeploys OVO to right there. It is a 2400 OVO. The Mongol player should really try to grab those relics, that's for sure. But then again, whoever goes for Castaway should really try to get relics in general. Got another Veteran Keshik, Veteran Archers, which makes sense. He can also probably manually deploy in some Crossbowmen. And right now, Man-at-Arms wouldn't be half bad. Looks like the French player's about to age on up. Let's see, does go for the Royal Institute. Try and go for a bit more quality for his Royal Knights overall. Oh, thank you for the follow, JD. Welcome to the stream. Was I clicking on some venison here? And green has actually expanded out to another fish deposit. So has yellow. Yellow's gotten there a bit quicker, but I would say still split up the fishing boats. You gotta preserve the fish deposits. Veteran Archer, Veteran Royal Knight, that makes sense. We're probably going to see some Arbaletiers. Yep, we got some Arbaletiers. No Crossbowmen for the Mongol player. I'm so surprised we also have not seen any Colin Sunders to help improve the range of these archers. A little bit extra range does go a long way. Particularly makes the arrows go a longer way. +1 range armor being researched by the French player. The Mongol player is not going for any additional blacksmith research to probably get the +1 range damage. And also make use of the +1 range armor. Curl Tide now deployed on the front line. Green's going to try to close the game immediately. No siege engineers, or improved siege engineers. Improved siege engineers wouldn't be half bad for some forward deployment of Mangonels. Since the French are known for going for a good number of Arbaletiers, and plus he already sees a good number of archers on the field. Curl Tide deployed in a very tenuous position. Giving these guys also plus 20% damage, as well as a bit of health care. Got the arrow deployed in the field. Royal Knights do not have the Royal Bloodlines researched. The extra fire speed of the arrows has subsided. The con has gone down, minor loss at this point in time. Royal Knights got a number of villager kills there. The villager count is even once again. And Kurultai is packed on up and making out of there. Doesn't appear to... I think he does have superior mobility. He does have superior mobility, just not improved superior mobility. Of course, with the last big balance patch, the raid bounty research has been reduced, so it's a little bit more easier to get good value from it. Beforehand, you needed to torch 7 buildings, and now you just need to torch 3, 4 or 5 buildings, 4, or it gets pay for itself. It shouldn't. If you go for raid bounties, it's better to go for improved raid bounties, since it allows you to convert stone into other resources. Spearman there does not have the hardened or the veteran spearman research yet, does he? Plus 2 range damage now being researched by green. Yellow's going for Royal Bloodlines, the Gambesons, and the Mine Shaft. Got a pair of Spring Gold emplacements here. We do have right now 11 villagers there, so one of these villagers will draw the short straw, trying to get inside those garrisons. Got a good number of pastures on the field, 6 so far. That can support up to, what, 18 villagers at the moment? Thank you for the follow, ESL Matthias 999. Welcome to the stream. We do now have, looks like the road nice occasions with more of these villagers. And this is a secondary town center. I didn't realize the Mongol player was a secondary town center. Some of these villagers are getting picked on off. Crossbowmen or arbaletiers engage in some various structures. More of these villagers going down. A couple spear braces there. Get some good hits. On the left side, looks like some hits there. Wolo conversion ritual does avoid it. And looks like these villagers may be cracked open. There'll be a sizable loss. You may want to use a speed arrow to get over here. Looks like one villager escapes out of there. They use a defense arrow, some sort of arrow. The Khan spotted itself go down. Khan goes down without firing off an arrow. That's a bit of an oversight. Royal Knights charging way forward, trying to get some good connections. Right now, Green has Army 52, has a higher value as well. Keswick's charging way forward. Structure's going down. I think I heard the Kurultai maybe redeployed. Yellow has a good number of villagers on this gold. Very, very risky. Want to keep there. 45 villagers. That's not enough room for all those villagers. It's a bit of a risky play pushing those villagers forward like that. Does have a bit of gold back here as reserve. You can see here, deepwater fish was fully consumed. Now there are long distances gathering over there. We got now the veteran spearman and the veteran horseman research now from the Mongol player. Very nice. Which also implies he also researched the regular horseman upgrade. Various economic research and canted saddles for the French player. On the left side, we do have these villagers being pursued. The Royal Knights getting some slices in there. Kesha's going to be falling on back now. We do have some of these outposts being torched on down. So I'm torched on the keep, the good old-fashioned way. Probably does not have extra torturous research. Khan has been redeployed here. Got some horsemen to stop these Royal Knights. Nothing much of anything else. Counters are fully garrisoned. He does have +2 range damage, which is counted out by the +2 range armor, so no additional defensive capability. Crossbowmen entering melee range is not a good idea. Archers and crossbowmen. Horseman does go down there. Up north, we got some of these villagers getting gunned down by these crossbowmen. Royal Knights heading up over here. Good number of green units go down. Right now, green has 100 villagers versus 98, so very similar. Close enough at this point in time. And right now, yellow has a much higher destroyed value, so yellow's taking better and better engagements. Green's now down to 93 villagers. Last of these berries have been cleaned on up. Got a gear here who failed to redeploy, so these villagers are going to be long distance collecting. Crossbowman putting some rounds into the Royal Knight and trying to capture or decapture the sacred site for a brief moment. Crossbowmen being pursued. We got a good number of these forces pushed forward. Archers and crossbowmen. Or arbaletiers, I should say. He's having trouble redeploying fields. He needs a lot more food at the moment. Going for some outposts. See, 7 pastures, 19 villagers, so that seems about right. Only has 1 level of economic upgrade. Siege engineers now being researched by Yellow. We'll try to close the game. It looks like the Mongol player has claimed 4 relics. Very nice. Very nice push way forward. The Mongol player is lacking a decent amount of cavalry, only has a couple horsemen and a Keshik. Has decent amount of defensive placement there. So let's go for the defensive arrow, giving his units +2/+2 armor, which makes them pretty resilient to the archer fire, who are doing 9 damage. Horseman was at 7 armor. A lot of defensive arrows firing away. Khan does go down, but since the arrows have been consumed, minor loss. Crossbowmen started stepping away. Archer's going to be slowly whittled down by all the defensive placements. Villagers getting on out of there. Mongol player has enough gold age on up. Going for more crossbowmen. More Roar Knights being brought in. More of these archers being cleaned on up. He also has a higher destroy value. And also a much higher army value in the field. Green right now only has an army of 6 units in the field, going for more crossbowmen. Green has held off the assault. We're now down by 11 villagers. Gotta now keep here, so it's starting to get enlistment incentives. But not enlistment incentives, the cost reduction aura. Then your loads incentives just simply improves that aura. And now I've got an arrow ship deployed out by Green. He never deployed out an arrow ship to police the shoreline. So Green will now have to start fighting on the water. Both sides probably have no ship upgrades. Couple of Spring Golden place here. Kurultai here as well. The Kurultai could have been very useful as a defensive placement. Kurultai probably should pack on up and get on out of there. Villagers migrating down to these berries. He's getting a little bit desperate for food. Try and collect up all the berries in the map. Go for more pastures. If you ever want to try to get the sheep deployed inside the, or rally inside like the little border, how you can do it is you squeeze 1 sheep along the side, then order all your pastures to rally to that single sheep, and that way they get inside a bit more close to the edge of the border. Additionally, I always recommend you keep at least 1 tile space between your town center and your pastures, so they don't have weird cases where they just run around. Some of these villagers may go down, collecting up some venison. Got some crossbowmen here for defense, but they're focused on the horsemen first. And the Kurultai is getting some health regen. These guys need to head down south. Now they are. Villagers here may go down. Decent number of crossbows for defense. Got a fire ship on the field as well. Got a Spring Gold ship engaging over here. Horsemen over here. And now do you have... Ooh, that's a Red Palace. So the Yellow Clan try to close the game with the Red Palace. And the Red Palace will be able to do some decent strong damage to those structures since it has a base damage of 60 per Arbalest. It will rip apart structures. Additionally, if they try to pack them, get out of there, the packed up units have no inherent range armor, so they will also get easily one-shotted. Bringing out a large number of villagers there. He's going to try to win the game with the Red Palace. Kurultai over here, having trouble redeploying. He's redeployed back here. Got defense arrow here, very nice. The Red Palace will be built. There's just way too many villagers here. Garrison up entirely with villagers. And it will probably win Yellow the game right there. He's going to need trebuchets to deal with it. Banograms are not from super great. And he does have improved siege engineer, so he can pull out some forward traction trebuchets. And it looks like the Kurultai gets trapped there. The Kurultai can also provide those traction trebuchets additional damage, so him losing the Kurultai is very important. Pack up those structures. See that horseman goes down. Takes the gear. And looks like hitting some of these other structures. Didn't hit any of the packed up units. Now, what are these guys sort of bugged right there? Looks like yellow and green idle at the moment. Horsemen engaging these villagers. And now I got the elite horseman upgrade as well with the French. Siege engineer, traction trebuchet is now deployed in the field. Observation post is getting ripped apart. Look, that's just an arrow slit one. This is the spring gold one. Traction trebuchet is now firing away. They are the weaker version of a regular trebuchet, of the counterweight trebuchet, but they are cheaper and have higher attack speed. Villagers nearby have repairs, and it will take wood to repair rather than stone because it is a landmark. This is bugging out pretty bad because when it gets in a destroyed state with the packed up units, it will try to deploy. And now got a Karak, a warship deployed in the field. That's Iwin button at sea. Horsemen engaging these villagers. Elite horsemen getting some good damage to the villagers. Green's at 92. I don't think Green cracked 100 villagers this game, though I wasn't paying close enough attention for that. 3 traction trebuchets engaging away. The Red Palace is down to half health. It's going to need more repairs. Horsemen going to charge way forward. Be a good idea. Going for Mangonel. There's Kurultai. Does manage to deploy itself into a smoldering ruin. Does use the defense arrow there. Very nice. And some of these guys do get too close to Red Palace. You can rip apart there. Some of these good enough of the traction trebuchets are just getting ripped apart. They'll just try and repair the traction trebuchet, but preventing from escaping. Got Ovo down here, both next to a blacksmith for the improved research. Red Palace have repaired up a decent amount, going for enlistment incentives now, improving the economic benefits of the French by 5%. And Green does back of the game now. This Angrade saying, "Thank you for watching," and on to the next replay. Let's see now. Next player. Let's see if your replays are open. Let's see, got a decent number of replays to go through. 17's too short. I want an eye for 25 minutes minimum, and this one should be adequate, hopefully. Knights Templars game. Oh wait, House of Lancaster. Knights Templar seems like it goes on for a decent amount of time, so they have more focus on the long game. House of Lancaster can be short, can be long. They have good, powerful, earlier light units. The Billmen upgrade and the Yeomen. Byzantians, let's see. Trying to think what would be best for them, but let's get started. Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Age of Empires 4 replay. Small on top right side as a magenta House of Lancaster. We got Liquid Demu. Small on the left side as yellow Byzantians. We got Numidian. Going for a little bit of stone there, and a little bit of gold as well. Both Astir deposits spawned forward this direction. Magenta spawned one split deposit was nice and safe back here. The other one went absurdly wide and all the way up here. His boar also is relatively close to his opponent's Astir deposit, while the yellow boar is up here. Right there. Let's see now. Trying to think what mercenaries Byzantium should go for. Let's see. Sabahi could be quite nice. Yeomen, of course, are a variation of the longbowmen, who are faster, a little bit weaker. Mercenary Arbaleteers. Possibly? Police Fighting Warriors? Probably not. And Mercenary Camel Archers? Probably not. But Spahi could be quite nice, but it's probably unlikely. Most players don't even look at the or touch the on-map mercenaries, and I really wish they do. We're probably going to see the Grand Winery, but this map maybe not half bad to go for the Imperial Hippodrome, because Yeoman, so make your horsemen better against the Yeoman. So we do have the Grand Winery now being deployed in the field. Magenta's going a bit of a slower age up than his opponent. And there's Castle Lancaster. Knows King's Palace to get usage of the Lords of Lancaster. I don't think I've ever cast a single game with a Lord of Lancaster on the field. I have no idea how effective they are. Grand Winery, of course, is established. Oh, we got fishing boats here. Let's see, we got a... Wait. Is this scout firing its arrow? It's... Yeah, doing 3 damage. Why is it firing its bow and arrow rather than torch? Wait, do they throw torches against ships? There it goes. Why was it firing its bow and arrow? Okay. Either way, probably wouldn't do much. It was in the radius of the dock to get that health regen. He has gone for maybe a little bit too many fishing boats. There's a decent amount of fish, but he will consume that pretty quickly. I can understand 3, but he's also also using the village to collect the shore fish as well, which last time I checked, it has the same collection rate as deer. I think that got nerfed. Something you can still do is deploy. Oh, we do have the Western Mercenary contract. One thing the Magenta could do is also build an aeroship. Aeroships are excellent anti-shore bomb. They apply X amount of shore bombardment to engage all any of the ground units. It would help them lock down the entire channel, at least below the waterfall. Which I think they need to improve the waterfall effect. That is too slow for waterfall. I think that's like a shore effect along the beaches. Needs a waterfall animation. Wheelbarrow now complete for yellow. Magenta has not researched wheelbarrow. Has his second manor on the field. Third one's being built now. Already have 4 cisterns on the field. And going for a bit of berries up here, not bad. He has one last berry deposit down here. It's the large one. And he could try stealing this berry deposit as well. But we have to go through his opponent's fishing boats for that. Got the increased... what's it called? Manners. We got some longbowmen being pulled in the field and engaged with the yeoman. I'll fast forward a little bit since it's just the eco phase for both players, particularly for Magenta. Because he's going to try to do a bit of a manor boom. Here comes the longbowman. Here is the aeroship to hard counter the longbowman. Does get inside there. Gets a bit of shore bombardment. Getting excellent damage there. Picks up one of the longbowmen. Over here we do have scouts engaging each other. I wonder, did they ever fix the issue where olive oil units down here didn't provide army value? Yes, they have fixed that. Perfect. The last expansion not only added in the course of expansions, but the factions, but also did a lot. They took time to fix up the replay viewer quite significantly and add a lot of extra functionality. So I'm quite thrilled about the updates and advancements in the replay viewer. Villager may go down there. This is just a scout. The horseman does not take it out. The villager's down to 3 health, so even the scout poses a threat. Both of them goes down, so does the villager. No expoliators to get +2 bonus damage versus villagers. +2 bonus damage versus villagers may not seem much, but it actually is quite important. It makes so they can take out villagers with 1 less hit, and plus to get +1 range or melee armor, it still does not reduce the amount of hits taken to kill off a villager. We do now have the muster of the nobles, give them some demi-lancers. I'm still not a big fan of demi-lancers. They just, I don't understand of what they're really supposed to excel at. They're just weak. 8 damage, 140 health. They are just slightly better than horsemen. They will take out another longbowman, but they do have sofa armor, so reduced armor. So longbowmen, in particular, will do punch through the armor pretty nicely. And those demi-lancers do manage to pick off most of the longbowmen, but they're having trouble with the horsemen. The white tower is now being plowed in field. Very nice. A proper defensive structure, along with all the supplementary defensive structures. And the demi-lancers are just being pursued. Does get an okay charge attack there on the villagers. 12 damage for a charge attack, not too particularly great. And now we've got the Accrutal defense, giving them +2 armor and +2 damage. Does get that one villager, but the short bows do annihilate the rest of that horseman. Longbowman does go down. We still got a handful of demi-lancers on the field. They do get the automatic age up benefits, giving them +2 damage, +20 health, and +1 armor. They do also get +1 damage per keep. So even at full like +4 damage per keep, they're not still too particularly great. The only way you can pull out demi-lancers in numbers is through the Warden Guard Palace. I wonder if they have really good age 4 stats, like the Khan. Demi-lancers trying to find some villagers. They do pick up that wounded villager. The longbowman heading over here. Getting some good damage there. The Byzantine player is not age on up. Has plenty of gold for age up. Just needs a bit more food. It looks like these horsemen do go down to the 3 free Earl's Guard. But 2 of them are almost down. Does good focus firing there. Finish off the wounded ones. Demi-Lance moving on the flank. Byzantine player already have enough food to age on up. This villager will go down. We'll probably age up the Golden Horn Tower. That's just basically a staple. The only time you ever see the was the first cistern, the first hill, I forget what it's called, is if you're going for cataphract play, maybe with Keshiks for a supplementary force. A decent amount of... not really a decent amount of fish remaining. A little over 1,000 fish remaining. And we've got these demi-lancers taking a bit of damage now. Monk heading over here, grabbing some relics, very nice. This cistern, that's an interesting spot for it. Why doesn't it reach out? Not Fog of War, this is the button I'm looking for. Only reaches some of those berries. I'm not so sure why the cistern's not all the way over here and maybe a little bit too expensive? I don't know. Seems a little bit weird for placement for me. Of course, this map does have a good amount of gold up north. It's all one large gold deposit down here. Outside of Magenta's part of the map, but it can go either way. It's easy to clear out the arrow ship. A single spring gold to take it out. Spring golds still retain their anti-ship capability. So if you ever have trouble with you're getting camped on the shoreline by warships or any sort of ship, build spring golds. That's your counter unit. Also, Lancaster does not have too many military units in the field. An arrow ship and an Earl's Guard. The Zany player does have a decent number of longbowmen, some crossbowmen being blown in the field, and has a single cataphract and going for another cataphract. Monk has picked up a relic, heading back on home with it. Right now, Magenta's claimed 2 relics and picked up that 3rd one. Well, 1 relic's right here, but it's being camped by Yellow, and Yellow will pick it up. And we got the Wormguard Palace, so got a relatively fast castle or Imperial Age. Where is the last relic? There it is. So it looks like Magenta's going to be picking this one up relatively soon. So Yellow will only get 1 relic. I always need to remind myself of the House of Lancaster's Wormguard Palace. You still get Wormguard Army, which does provide you 2 spearmen, 2 crossbowmen, and a free trebuchet to go along with them. Or you can view it as you get a trebuchet and 2 free spearmen and crossbowmen to go along with it. A very, very cost-effective army here. It does have a bit of a longer production time. Earl's Retinue provides you 6 Demon Lancers and 2 Hovelars. Hovelars, of course, the lighter, cheaper cavalry unit as opposed to the Horsemen. It's nice. It's more of a counter unit. Garrison commands 8 Spearmen, 1 Earl's Guard, which is okay, but has a fast production speed of 30 seconds. And the Billmen upgrades are still pretty nice. And got the Gunpowder Contingent, which is 2 Revolcans, 1 Culverin. Very cost effective. Also a little bit more on the situational side. Cataphract play is a good way to, I suppose, Revolcans like to shoot everything. But I rarely have seen them super great. Got another Scuddage now being researched, giving an extra gold income for the manors. He has all 8 manors in the field. Tithe Farm being queued on up, as well as more wood research. Forward, Creo Siphon up on the field. Number of longbowmen. They could try getting next to the whatchamacallit, Creo Siphon and put down some palings. They're trying to pull out another Creo Siphon, very nice. Taking out the manors is good. He's pulling them forward to get the extra arrows for defensive placement, but also these are valuable economic buildings he's losing. 6 side being captured by Magenta. We got a number of mounted units here. Let's get some more Demi Lancers. Elite Demi Lancers have now 14 base damage, 200 health, 5/5 armor. And even if they get all of their all of like +4 damage for their keeps, don't see them too particularly great. How much does the cost for that army again? Still, I don't know. I'm still not impressed by Demi Lancers. I'm always being willing to prove wrong, though. On paper, they just seem not good. More cataphracts on the field, as well as some more longbowmen. Jenna's pushed way forward, getting pretty close to the capital. Against all these range units, some of the Revolcans wouldn't be half bad with a gunpowder contingent. Cataphracts push way over here. He is going for full Warren Earl's retinues. Really going for the Demi-Lancers. More Creo Siphons being pulled in the field. Very nice. He is getting a good number of manners down. This is quite a bit of cavalry. He does also have now another keep on the field, so he does have extra combat plus damage, or that was just blacksmith research. Yep, just blacksmith research. I'm supposed to get all your keeps going. They are going to get pretty nice. Cataphracts trample the way forward. You got the heavy cavalry versus the quality versus quantity cavalry. And Cataphracts have broken the way forward, so they're getting pretty wounded. Maybe he can do some pullback from Micro to pull back to some monks to get them healed on up. But Command & Conquer playstyles have never really been in vogue when it comes to Age of Empires 4. Handful of Cataphracts over here with some more longbowmen. He has to pull out some more manners over here, so getting some more Creo Siphons, putting more pressure on the flank wouldn't be half bad. Got triple Creo Siphon now being pulled in the field, destroying a decent number of these stables. With one number of their Hoblars. The Hoblars is definitely the cheaper version of the Horsemen, so also lacking the quality department. I don't think he probably should go for more melee armor, try to resist himself against the cheaper units. Maybe teardrop shields would be quite useful as well, which I don't think he's gotten that research either. That'll give him +1 armor. So now +2 additional armor would put their armor up to 7 this age. Hoblars right now have 14 damage, so give them 50% damage resistance there. Of course, Iron Age up wouldn't be half bad as well. Earl's Guard now pushing along the flank. He has to pull out another keep and town center up there, so he got 3 Earl's Guard to engage these villagers, causing some issues. Sitting other Cataphracts. And Yellow's still making massive headway over here. Remember as well, they'll take out the Warren Palace, the capital, the Castle Lancaster, and the White Tower. Like, Yellow's getting close to annihilation victory. Magenta has to respond to this, or else he will go down to annihilation victory. Both sides' villager counts are actually still pretty low, given this 21-minute mark of the game. Both of them killed some villagers, and somewhat equal amount as well. Here comes the cavalry to engage the Creo Siphons. The Cataphracts do trample the way forward, so it looks like we may lose a good number of these Creo Siphons, which is a bit of a loss. Those are bringing up the keep now. Got more longbowmen here. Blacksmith may burn down before this research is complete. Dale's pulling back, yep, building some more Creo Siphons. He's also going to take an opportunity to grab some relics. Magenta, of course, has all this collection going up uncontested. Magenta does have a decent amount of food and wood. He is trying to build the Warren Palace. The Byzantine player has enough gold to age up, just needs more food. Agent, of course, will potentially allow him to get access to the Schultz Sea. I realized something. Have we even seen a single deployment of Landsconnects? Yeah, we do have a first round of Landsconnects in the Golden Horn Tower. I think it is a good thing that he's been getting the Longbowmen. Landsconnects are nice, but they're not a unit that you want all the time. Longbowmen's a unit you generally want more often than not compared to Landsconnects, in my opinion. None of these yeomen going down. He also has the Shire Levy. Shire is also where the root term of sheriff comes from. because the Shire is led by a Shire Reeve, which is eventually that word eventually became the word sheriff, as a fun fact as well. Four engineering company now being employed in the field. Olive oil-based siege weapons wouldn't be half bad. So yeah, it's coming for a decent number of cataphracts, so the Paladin school wouldn't be entirely half bad as well. But going for the 4 engineering company will improve his longbowman with the arrow volley upgrade. And we still have, well, now we have this fully repaired. So now there's 3 landmarks remaining once again. He's taking time to control the manors, which actually is still a very valid target, because those are very valuable economic buildings. And they do lose the air capability since the Castle Lancaster does go down. We do now have the Elite Cataphract Research. Oh, did they change that upgrade symbol? That looks different. Maybe because I rarely ever see cataphracts. It's a relatively rare unit to see in mass. The Yellow's doing a great job so far, trying to destroy this Wormguard Palace. Enemy Lancers charging way forward. He got a decent amount of increased damage now, so it looks like he got out. He does have plus 3 melee damage and 3 keeps in the field. Elite Longbowman, they need to activate the arrow volley ability. No reason not to. Cataphract being cleaned on up now. We do have Siege Workshop here. Oh yeah, I forgot that the Byzantines get this upgrade. Counter trebuchets deal plus 30% damage and gulls their target with Greek fighting area damage. I wonder if that gets... that hopefully that does also affect the Hui Pals from the 4 engineering school. That should. If it's not, it should. It'll give the Hui Pal a little bit more flexibility. The Royal Cannon Quest will provide the artillery shot for structures, then the Hui Pal can provide the napalm. That's the super heavy trebuchet that's mostly available to the Mongols with the Cognate Palace, and it is an upgraded counterweight trebuchet where it has increased range, damage, and attacks slower. It's only available to the Byzantines and to the Mongols with the Cognate Palace, and Byzantines with the Foreign Engineering Company. If I can find it here. This unit right here. I think its range is what, 18? It's a very powerful, good long-range trebuchet which does have overlapping role with the Royal Cannon when it comes to structure. But if you want the increased range to make sure it stays alive, that's generally a better option. Yep. Yeah, it's like its range is even farther than regular trebuchets, and I think its range is 18. It's like it's pretty far. And particularly for the Mongols getting for the Cognate Palace, it's pretty nice since you get counter traction trebuchets, which are cheaper trebuchet, so you can get cheaper trebuchets and even powerful trebuchets as a complementary unit. But right now, it looks like Yellow's starting to get overrun by all of these mounted units. Yellow has pretty much no military force in the field, going for some Lumtani. So Yellow's economy has greatly stalled out. I was not paying attention to that. Oh, Yellow's economy is much, much more worse off than I expected. Yellow has not really good access to gold deposits right now, losing a good number of villagers. And 65 villagers was 90. This is a massive loss. These villagers not getting hit as well. This may be game over for Yellow. Unable to secure another gold deposit. Magenna's procured them all. And even now, the village account for bringing the non-gold base resources is still under threat. Moomtani does get a good engagement down to these knights. He has to pull out regular elite knights along with the demi-lancers. This is a very good number of cavalry, cheap cavalry, but good number. Moomtani will be an excellent option against them. Moomtani does have more health than regular spearmen, though they're not as great as Donzo. We do have now, of course, some of these outlying structures being cleaned on up. Next round with the Golden Horn Tower is Lance Connects, and Yellow does back the game now. There's Angrade saying, "Thank you for watching," and on to next replay. Let's see if I can find any more good replays. Let's see. Where's that one? Not this one. Too short. Mirror matchup. I don't like mirror matchups. Too short. Too short. Too short. Too short. Oh, here we go. 40 minutes. And we also got a Order of the Dragon. Greetings everyone, Angrade here with another Age of Empires 4 replay. So on bottom right side is the pink Order of the Dragon. We got This Ain't My First Rodeo, Mate. So on the left side is the magenta Ottoman. We got Liquid Demu. And looks like Magenta's immediately going for the venison. His other deer deposits up here along with some berries. Two small stone deposits back here. Large stone, small gold, large gold. And large gold over here. So his resources are pretty spread out. Trees, however, are a nice little line, provides some natural coverage, so if farmers back here should be relatively safe. Or the Ottoman player. Looks like he has deployed out some pair of spearmen from barracks, and now going to be herding these deer. It's like herding cats. Doing an excellent job of herding all the deer. Very, very nice. And you can just head to this other deposit and do the exact same thing. So no early military academy. Aachen Chapel now being deployed in the field, so it's not going for the Menwork Palace for the unique research. Looks like all the deer will be killed off right there. And there. Twin Meteorites now being deployed in the field, which will give them effectively, what, 4 safe locations for villagers to collect the food. I think that's how the numbers work with this. 4 villagers can constantly gathering food from it. And a very fast rate, equivalent to... It's actually faster than Boar, if I remember correctly as well. So, you get 4 reliable food collection for the entirety of the game. Because the base collection of berries have actually increased, but plus 50% multiplier is also making it even faster. So this collection rate, I believe, is above 1 now. And Boar collects at the rate of 0.91 or 0.92. So those berries do collect up faster than Boar. Got an outpost being salvaged here. Very nice. And it looks like we're going to just maintain being in the economic phase of the game. And we do actually have a wall of trees here. If you look close in the minimap, there is green, which means this area is intraversable. And pretty tight choke there as well, so Magenta can easily wall off this section, and I'll probably need to excavate around the trade post there in order to get proper trade pass. But that should be pretty safe enough. First Vizier points almost available. Huh. This may sound really stupid, but depending on which side the Vizier, the Imperial Council window is, it's actually on the right side and it's in inverse order. If it's on the left side, it's the other order. It's backwards. Why is it like that? Why is it backwards? I know that means nothing, but why is it backwards? Volgrav Palace now being... Wait. Volgrav Palace. So we've got a fast Age 3 now being pulled in the field. Volgrav Palace is a very good landmark. It can be more cost providing more resource value than the Regni's Cathedral, assuming you get 3 or less relics. Volgrav Palace, assuming you're constantly building from it, will provide you more value. If you get 4 relics, the Regni's Cathedral is better, but 4 relics is a little bit of a tall order sometimes. And now I've got Hidden Imperial Armory as well, so both players eyeing for Fast Castle. And generally I say Spring Goal is the best, but deploy whatever you need to counter out your opponent. Dragon Villagers backing on off. Bit of fire there on the Spearmen. They are hardened Spearmen. And now I've got some Gilded Man-at-Arms. Of course, they are early Gilded Man-at-Arms right now. You basically build these Man-at-Arms at normal price. Still pay for a little bit higher. Once you see those Gilded Man-at-Arms, it would be a good idea to go for either Crossbone and or Spring Golds. Lances would do just fine as well. You see the Gilded Man-at-Arms. Gilded Man-at-Arms push their way forward to the relic, trying to secure those relics up. Local doggo gets put down, you monster. The mill has been set ablaze. Got 200 food. Oh, no, that's a sheep carcass, not a deer carcass. This deer carcass has 44 food remaining. And another note as well, something I would also like to see is professional scouts allow you to pick up sheep carcasses. Just so in case someone picks up a sheep carcass, you at least can pick it up, because I don't think you can pick those up with professional scouts still. Imam now heading down south for the winter. Oh! He gets a kill, but also gets a conversion. I say that's worth for Magenta. Because this is a 240 value unit for the price of an Imam, which is 100? 150. Definitely worth. Well, of course, also will delay the collection of that relic, but that relic's safe enough for him. Got more man-arms employed by the Order of the Dragon. I only know the name of one famous person Order of the Dragon, and that would be Vladimir Dracula. And yes, he is a real person. Sacred Site now being captured on up by the Prelate. Right now, one relic claimed by Magenta, one relic claimed by Pink, and another one picked up by Pink. This one be picked up by Magenta. So where's our last relic on the map? Actually, I don't see it on the map. Does the map bug out when we spawn 4 relics? Oh wait, Magenta did claim it. I think I looked away at the exact wrong moment. We do now have the dragon scaled armor for pink. Hardened Spearman being a bit of a home wrecker. And pink's falling back now a little bit. We do have some more Veteran Guild archers being deployed in the field as well, which Ottomans tend to go heavy in Janissaries, so this will be a good counter to them. And right now he has 4 Janissaries in the field. What Viziers has he gone for? He's gone for the field work for 2 Imams, and we do have the plus 1 military campus. Local doggo gets put down as the ATF wanted. Scout push way forward. Got Magenta Scout here. The bow player is not being hyper-aggressive at the moment, to say the least. Pink just amassing army back at home. More local doggos being put down. Inspired warriors being researched. Is Volkov policy of constantly being utilized? Appears maybe not. More Janissaries on the build queue. As the game longer goes on, I think that less likely these Janissaries will be useful. Right now, light archer units are just very effective at taking out those gunpowder units. And seeing now these pink gunpowder units also do have, what, +3 in armor? Making it a bit more resilient to the high rate of fire, lower damage of the Janissaries. Plus as well, with Imperial Age, silk bowstrings, greatly improving your guys' range. And make these good archers go from 5.5 range up to 7 range, which is a pretty good amount of range. And Janissaries have less range compared to all the Hankanir units, so the range difference will be quite severe. Good number of Spring Gulls deployed on the field. That's probably from the Hidden Imperial Armory. The Hidden Imperial Armory still builds these things that have half the build speed as a Maganel. I think overall Spring Gulls need a production speed increase. At least in the Hidden Imperial Armory, because right now they're being produced 1 every 60 seconds. I think Maganels take 2 minutes. Gilded Man Arms getting ripped apart there. Got good enough crossbowman. Does take up one of the Spring Gulls. Prelates do go down. These guys are inspired. The Ottoman Gilded Man Arms still in the field. That's probably being pushed on the field as well. And that one handily in favor of Magenta. Got some Gilded Spearmen on the build queue as well. Or on the field at least. Let's see. It has 3 more possible Vizier points, 1 more available soon. Probably Advanced Academies and call it and go for something fun here. So you can always go for some the unique horse archers. I have no idea how to pronounce that. Prelate's heading down south. We have another Spring Gulls engaging over here. Just getting a bit of damage. Prelate will likely go down. Imam here. Does decapture the sacred site. Benson being obtained. +2 range damage, +1 melee damage. +2 range armor, +2 range damage. Ottoman player already has +2 range damage as well. Plus 2 melee damage, plus 1 melee armor on the way from the Ottoman player. Springballs fire away, getting hit pretty hard by the Gilded Archers. They are empowered by the prelates. Spahee managed to close on in, could utilize Fortitude, but they will receive extra damage from those spearmen. Gilded Spearmen will rip apart the Spahee. Janissaries coming for a nice little flank there. Since they're hitting much lighter spearmen, they punch through the armor much more easily. It looks like the Gilded Archers are ripping apart those Janissaries in no time. Of course, get plus 8 damage versus light gunpowder, so doing 20 damage per shot against Janissaries is... it will rip them apart. 90 health, they'll get 4 shotted. Or 5 shotted. Overall, Pink does a higher destroyed value there. I think focus on those Janissaries really made it easy for Pink. Yeah, Janissaries with a reduced range versus increased range. A 2 range difference is getting quite significant, and it will just increase. Yeah, right now I don't think gunpowder hand cannon near units in some situations are just not that useful. They're no longer a unit you just spam out in the late game at any point in time. Which is good, don't get me wrong. I think a unit that you just spam out only is a unit you should be reworked. Or have its counters a bit more readily available. In this case, while hand cannoneers did receive a little bit of rework, they're still pretty good at hitting every target. They just have a bit more effective counter to them. Some of these villagers are going down. Magenta does have a nice villager lead. Finds even more villagers there. Got the no Fortitude active there. That could have been very handy. There's a Lance Connect now attacking. Seems to get splash damage, but gets quickly picked off there. See that last 0 point did go into Advanced Academies. He almost has enough for his 4th one. Pink's decapturing the southern sacred site, capturing up the central one, and Purple's decapturing the northern VP. Not VP. With sacred site. Wrong game. Same engine. Some of those villagers do manage to escape inside the town center. And Spahee will escape on out there. We do have, of course, a secondary town center for Magenta. That's why he has such a high villager advantage. Even though killing 6 will help out with that even further. Exile's not being researched by the Order Dragon player. Good idea when you're having trouble keeping your villagers alive. Next Vizier point almost available. And Sacred Site has been obtained. Prelate does go down there. Good number of empowered units. Or being empowered. Now these empowered Gilded Archers now have 12 damage rather than the 10 point something damage they had previously. This game does have fractional and decimal health, damage, and calculations. Just that a lot of it's just not exactly invisible, or not at all. So if you've ever seen it with 0 health, just know it has fraction of health left. Imam does, both those Imams do get gunned down. Right now, Pink has an army of 109 on the field. Of course, that is calculating with the total population. But the value is very similar because the Ottoman player does have a good number of Springballs, valuable Springballs, as well as Spahee and Janissaries. Spahee charging way forward. There are 16 Gilded Spearmen on the field, which can rip apart those Springballs. Got conversion rituals being established. Oh no. One spot he was grabbed. Another conversion ritual there. This is a power play I was not expecting. I think nothing got converted there. Oh, that one will not have anything converted. Don't go in there. Don't prove me wrong. Gilded Archer still engaging away. Janissary is firing away. It does take out those monks there. Trying to rebuild the mosque. Good number of prelates still there. Magenta will hold. Magenta still has a good number of villagers. They have some of destroyed. Magenta does have a good advantage in destroy value. It's significant, but that was a power play I was not expecting to grab the relics and go for a conversion ritual. Well played by Pink. He was successful converting, I think, I know at least one Sipahi. Not sure if he got anything else. Couple spring golds now being upgraded for Pink. Right now, Pink needs to get out more spearmen, and archers will be perfectly fine. The good archers can punch a little bit better to the higher armor of the Sipahi, and plus they do have a good amount of health. Spearmen, the gilded spearmen will rip them apart, and we do now have some gilded knights being put on the field. Quite an expensive investment, to say the least. Which they will Janissaries, they can be countered, but they also are a counter. Breeze Axel's not being researched by the Autumn player. What Vizier point did he go for? He actually went for Pax Ultima, which is still in effect, so it says 50% train faster, but that's not necessarily true. It goes from 20 seconds down to 13 seconds. So I never really know how it does those percentages. Those percentages never seem like they add up. Because 50% faster... Okay, now I'm starting to understand. 50% faster doesn't mean it reduces the research time by 50%. Imagine if you take... how to put it? Take 13 seconds... and to add 50%, and you get the 20 seconds. And that's sort of how the math is going. It does the math a little bit backwards, in my opinion. A lot of times, this game doesn't feel like it does math really not exactly intuitive. It's like it's being decaptured up there. Gilded Knight taking some damage there. Of course, I got 3 relics there. He's also split up the relics. I wonder if he did that on purpose so that situation didn't really happen as much as again. By the way, do now the Moss take some damage there. Sipahi charging way forward. One relic exposed. Mangonels fire away. Gilded Knights do hit some of those villagers. Some of the villagers are getting hit. Mangonel over here. Mangonel needs to start hitting those Gilded Archers. The Knights charging way forward. There's a conversion ritual. Magenta does back off from it entirely, appears to be. The siege one's going down. Got still 2 spring golds remaining. Sipahi still here in good numbers, pursuing these gilded mana-armed or gilded archers. So a handful of gilded spearmen mana-armed over there, taking out the rest of the Sipahis. I can never judge the fights with Lord of Dragons, as it's ×2 stuff. And got, so it looks like some more gilded mana-arms and spearmen along the back line, causing issues there. Magenta has an army of 11 versus an army of 98. So the Autumn player is having trouble stabilizing. He still has superior economy, but he is losing a good number of villagers. Pink so far killed off 43 villagers this game. Oh wait, or the Dragon's villagers are counted differently. I've been figuring that the entire game. Add 25%. Yeah, the Order of Dragon player's economy does have more villagers on the field. I completely forgot about the fact that that's one of the primary mechanics for Order of the Dragon. My apologies. keep being established there. Add 28% to that. So I just usually just round up 25%. Easier to do math. Which is additional, what, 15? Maybe 16, just round it up. So yeah, he's closer to 80 villagers than versus 75. My offhand math is incorrect. Sipahi push way forward. Got these infrastructure being torched there. The Prelates could grab the relics and run. He has did that for that one relic. Mangonel fired a volley there, hitting some of those Gilded Archers. Sipahi's gonna have trouble versus Gilded Knights. Pick up the relics and run. More Janissaries on the build queue. Janissaries want to be built in limited numbers, in my opinion, because of these Gilded Archers. Maybe some Lancers would be good for the Autumn player. Give him something heavy cavalry of his own to deal with those Gilded Archers. Man-at-Arms wouldn't be half bad either. His opponent has no counter to heavy units right now. No Gilded Crossbowmen. Just having, of course, just nature of being Gilded units. The Meta Race will go down. Oh, wait. That's the Emergency Great Bombard. I do not like that option. An Emergency Great Bombard is not going to be too particularly great. It is an early Great Bombard, so it is weaker. That was his last Vizier point. Capital almost destroyed. He does have two town centers here. Also, Swabia now being on the build queue for pink, so he will be able to fabricate his villagers no problem. But he already has a good number already on the field. Sipahi pushing the way forwards. Janissaries actually get some good hits there on those Gilded Knights. Very nice. Janissaries getting ripped apart by the Gilded Archers. Looks like Magenta will stabilize. Pink still has a larger force in the field, it's probably in defensive positions. Chipshays takes up the mining camp. Got a good number of Gilded Knights here. Elite Archers now on the way for the Order of the Dragon player. Trebuchets to put some rounds into the keep. Sipahi charging way forward. Probably should take out those trebuchets, but there's a lot of mass there. Plus, we got a Sacred Side victory in 4 minutes as well, so Magenta will need to address that. And that thing is unguarded, so you have to go setting up one Sipahi up there. Not in influence. Looks like it didn't creep up far enough forward. Villager's going to go on down there. Got these forces now advancing. Gold deposit almost complete claim. Good enough to abandon. Then have to make his way up there. Can he keep up there for these villagers? Looks like they won't be spotted. Just managed to stay out of vision range. Sipahi actually been misclicked and pulled off there. He needs to capture that. That is a victory condition that's counting down ever so closer. Magenta is trying to go for a keep here. Does get cancelled. Early Great Bombard firing away. Mangonels as well. Meteor's taking some damage there. Janissary is firing away. Gilded Archers not hitting those Sipahi. Now trying to hit those Janissaries. 6-side victory in 3 minutes. Gilded Knights taking some damage there from the Janissaries. Very nice. And looks like the Gilded Archers will hold out. He has a higher destroy value than Magenta by 10,000, so this is into the critical amount difference. Though losing some Gilded Knights here is not great for the destroy value, because that's basically 2,000 resources going down, but we'll kill off some Janissaries in return. They'll try and establish a keep here. Magenta's trying to establish a keep. 6-side victory, 2 minutes. Does interrupt the keep deployment. Janissaries don't need to pursue this village, just need to pursue the sacred site. Now got some crossbow employed in the field, which I think are a bit of a better general counter unit at this moment in time than Janissaries. They have a little bit more range, 5 range as opposed to 3.5, and also able to hit both the man-at-arms and the Gilded Knights with bonus damage. They will do, right now, let's see, 13 plus 10. The Janissaries will do 16 plus 10. And of course, countered by those good archers pretty badly. So probably engaging those archers, good archers. Did a good job keeping that guild early Great Bombard alive. A couple more outposts there. Man-arms on top of the sacred site there, just prime prevent it being decaptured. It's almost fully reverted back. But of course, the sacred site counter does get paused when one of the sacred sites is contested. So you can still stall out the game by putting the unit on top of it. Magenta's bringing some more force up there. Magenta and Pink as well. And I think Magenta should be able to decapture it relatively soon. See there, it is currently paused out minute 13. Got multiple outposts being established here with spring golden placements. Metro stays on top of the sacred site there. And this is where the part where the Great Bombard is going to be useful, able to annihilate these outposts. Those on top of the sacred site there, trying to prevent it from being captured. They have some of these ladies pull out some knives as well. Gilded Man-at-Arms, Gilded Archers pushing up north, but I don't think there's enough there from Pink to fully contest the sacred site there. I think Magenta will get the decapture. And there's the decapture. More Gilded Knights there. And Magenta's getting a decent arm in the field. Right now has 29 plus 14 versus 10. Value is heavily in favor of Magenta as well. Magenta's slowly starting to turn around this game, but he's still down in age, and Pink has almost all the gold in the map. Has 25,000 in the bank. There's still a decent amount of gold right here, in which Magenta has to start eyeing that next. Capture Sacred Site would also generate a little bit of gold as well, but Magenta needs to start eyeing to really try to seize this gold deposit. If he can, age up with the Sea Fortress probably. Let's get a keep out and going as well, a landmark keep. Though the Istanbul Observatory is probably generally better. But I don't think he has luxury of not going for that, the Great Sea Fortress. He's now pushing forward over here. Sipahi now advancing along the flank. This gold deposit has 600 gold remaining. Pink does go ahead and get on out of there. And now Magenta's actually able to launch a good counterattack there. Couple spear on the field. Right now, the Order Dragon player has effectively 130 villagers versus 106, plus better economic upgrades to go along with it. You have now some Ottoman archers on the field. They are veteran archers. We do also have some dragon hand cannoneers as well. Sapali finds a good number of villagers. This is exactly what Magenta needs to get back in the game. But both players now below 100 villagers. Magenta has been losing more villagers. Pink has called off 100 of his opponent's villagers so far this game. And we do now, the path is clear for some traders for purple as well. Both players can go for traders. Pink has managed to grab every single relic, so rare moment where you can actually steal your opponent's relics. There's now the Istanbul Observatory being employed in the front. This will of course provide a massive aura effect for increased production speed. Even though it's an observatory, it's not a lighthouse. It may look like a lighthouse, but it's not a lighthouse. So, it will not act as Imperial Palace for increased vision range around it. At least, I don't think. No, it does not. Sorry, I just had to double check that. It really does look like a lighthouse. Gilded Knights rip apart a good number of those villagers there. They have a 59 damage to a lance charge attack. These villagers do have textiles, so they can withstand it, assume they're not wounded. Culveron's now firing away, taking on the Istanbul Observatory. We've got biology now being researched by the Autumn player, as well as the elite Sipahi. With the age up now complete, the Autumn player is screaming bottom of the barrel when it comes to resources. Ottoman heading down, engaging, got the Gilded Knights straight forward. Good damage there, good AoE. The Great Bombard's no longer early Great Bombards, now just a regular Great Bombard. Janissaries actually getting some decent work on those cataphracts. The Istanbul Observatory has been destroyed and being repaired on up. Culverins here in good numbers. Great Bombard. Strength, something does pack on up. And I think Magenta just got cracked. Culverins will destroy a lot of these infrastructure quickly. Annihilation victories 1, 2, 3, 4. All of them pretty close by. And 3 Culverins would make short work a lot of these to this lot of this infrastructure. Twin Metares has gone down. The capital and the Hidden Imperial Army are next. Nothing threatening the Culverins, so they have a bit of escort with the Dragon Hand Cannoneers. And Magenta has now resigned. It's Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. That shall be my last replay tonight. My voice is starting to go out, so I'll go ahead and launch a raid to somebody else for y'all to observe. Let's see. And let's see. The Age of Empires 4. Let's do one for a little bit lower viewer count to give them a little bit of gift. Here, this one shall do.